The Michael Waddell Podcast is presented by Spandau Arms in partnership with Folds of Honor, Spartan Magnaswitch System, and Cigars International. Be sure to like and subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts.
So Lee and Tiffany could fly anywhere because Tiffany had the credentials. And so, but at the end of the day, we were all broke. Like we had no money. And so one time we was at a booth and they had water that was given away to the people. So Lee and Tiffany and I started selling the water for $1 a piece so we'd have beer money the rest of the night. Literally, we was selling for $1 and we was like, we probably shouldn't be doing this.
Only one time.
Only one day.
Yeah, we didn't do it the next day. We felt bad about it.
Yeah, we felt bad. But well, yeah, we did pretty
If
well.
we made enough money to do this.
Maybe some of these people standing right out here maybe
They might have bought a bottle of water from Tiffany Lakosky.
Yes,
Dude,
sir.
it is exciting to have all y'all, man. Like I'm telling you, it's familiar faces. Obviously, it's the first time ever we had a live podcast in Las Vegas, Nevada at the SHOT Show. All the way over there, my buddy Lee Lakosky, Tiffany Lakosky, Pigman, Brian Qualka. We got Melissa Bachman and my buddy Mike Robinson. All the way. Mike is official. He's the only one that speaks true English because he is from the UK. That's right,
How'd you
man.
like it over there, man?
I love it.
Don't lie. Tell us the facts.
I love it. I mean,
So then you moved to where?
Texas.
Oh, so it wasn't all that.
Well, like, change is as good as the rest.
And he did. I cut him. I said, you drive a Mini Cooper? Because, I mean, I do know people that drive Mini Coopers. I just actually bought one for Junie's niece.
It's a great
So
car.
I can't say nothing, but he's driving a big diesel.
You did that for the gas mileage. You
I
paid
did,
for
my
that
man.
fuel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, you
Absolutely. It's funny. John was standing there, Brunson. I didn't even know he had a daughter that old. And then I'm thinking back seeing Michael's kids last year, and I'm thinking about, I know you, and I'm thinking about Lee and Tiffany and the kids. And I just actually asked Lee, I'm thinking, they not old enough to hunt. He's like, oh, yeah, they've already killed deer and turkey. And I'm like, boy, I am old as Methuselah, man. So now we're in that second part of life where I'm waiting on the grandbaby. That's what I'm waiting on.
I know it. I'm afraid. I'm waiting on them, but I'm hoping they hold off for a little while.
No, yours is coming soon.
Probably.
I can feel it.
Could be.
I
How
can
old are
feel
all
it.
the kids now?
I got a 26, a 20, and a 17.
And how old are y'all's knuckleheads? I know they look grown.
8 and 10 now.
Yeah,
8
we
and
have a
10.
while before grandkids
Yeah.
are
You
coming.
You got a while.
Yeah, we started a
Melissa
little late.
does too. What you got? Was you 9 or 10 and 2?
Yeah, we got 2, 7, and then 15, 17, and 19 for the
That's
other
right.
kids.
Whoa.
Yeah, you
So,
getting in. That's
no
right.
grandkids.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's
Oh,
bonus.
howdy, man.
Yeah.
Y'all wild up there in Minnesota, ain't you?
Not a lot
Crazy,
going
man.
on in South Dakota.
Yeah, not a lot going
Snowy
on in South
days,
Dakota.
man.
Yeah, frosty.
Mike, you got kids?
I got a 20-year-old son, but we left him in England.
Right on,
Seemed
man.
appropriate.
Yeah, he didn't want to come. He didn't want to come.
He's a university in
But
England.
I tell you though, man, where you're at in Texas, that's a very special, beautiful place.
We're
Fredericksburg
in
is
love with
awesome,
it.
man.
Yeah,
It's all, and I'm
amazing.
sure Michael's probably hunted out that way before.
Oh, yeah, I have.
The Texas Hill Country, man, it's wild.
And the volume of species there, the stuff you can do all year round.
Well,
because I've come
you English though, man, you'll shoot anything.
Well, I've come from a place where I can kill a deer 365 days a year. There are no tags, no hunting licenses, absolute no fish and game department, nothing. If you have a legally held firearm that's the right caliber and you got permission, you can kill the deer in season. So there's no limits. And I run a deer management business in Britain. So it was my job for 10 years, killing deer. So
That's awesome, man.
and so coming over here with tags, hunting licenses was a real culture shock.
Rules. You mean rules?
Yeah, never had them before.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy though, and Mike, I definitely want you to talk about all of us here in this panel, big bow hunters, but like the UK is one of the only places. Well, I mean, you got a lot of countries there that can't even hunt at all. But is that a lot stem from the Robin Longstride and the Robin Hood?
I mean, it's
Does it?
madness. Like we invented it, kind of thing. Like you
Yeah.
know, Robin Hood, we had issues for several
You
hundred
mean you
years with the
invented bow
French.
hunting?
Sorry, no,
You
we
did-
invented shooting people with bows predominantly.
No, yeah, I mean,
I see.
it's such a rich
Boy,
tradition.
this has took a little bit of a turn.
They
When-
were.
You
Y'all were
look
the
at the
king of the
100
bow.
Years' War, the British archer was the machine gunner of the Middle Ages. And it was law in Britain. You could not play football on a Sunday. You had to practice with a bow. As a man between the age of 15 and 60, you legally had to practice with a bow on a Sunday for 3 hours after church. And that was the English law for about 200 years in the Middle Ages.
And you think about that. So where did the Robin Hood story come in, Mike? And the reason I want to start with you is because obviously we die hard. I mean, if you took away bow hunting and opportunity to bow hunt, we would all cry. Like
Right.
Lee Lakosky would be over there pouting in a corner and depressed and stuff. And I mean, Pig, all of us with Melissa.
Yeah.
And so, you know, is it true? Was it around the Robin Hood era, or is that just kind of folklore, or is it something more?
So the
Because
game
you can't bow hunt, and you cannot
you
bow
cannot bow hunt in Britain, and they brought that in about 1980.
Okay.
Nugent had something to do with that problem.
Possibly.
He
went
shut
over
down
that.
many countries of archery. I can just tell you.
But we have an incredibly urban society that doesn't understand hunting. That's all there is to it in Britain. To give you an idea, there's about 35,000 people in Britain with a license to have a rifle to shoot a deer, and we have to kill about 1.5 million deer a year in Britain just to control the population. All private land, no public land. It's wildly different to get your head around, but it's also paradise if you like shooting deer.
Right.
Like, it's unbelievable.
That's a hell of a lot of deer for 35,000 people.
It's
Like, what is that,
but
like 40 deer a piece?
Yeah, about that. We're not shooting them is the answer. We're only killing about half what we should.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to
But
know.
I mean, I have a full-time professional hunter, Warren, in England, who runs our deer management business. He shot about 500 last year. You know.
So I got to ask the question because I got it from the helicopter. How many pigs you shoot? 555 pigs in 2 days. Okay. What'd you do with all of them? What do they do with the meat?
we are legally allowed to sell it to the public. So I have a venison business called Deer Box, and we sell about 8,000 fallow a year to the public.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's what you're talking about. You're talking about fallow deer.
Mainly fallow deer.
Mainly fallow deer?
The Romans brought them over in 2,000 years ago, and then the Normans brought a bunch over when they invaded about 1,000 years ago. And then it became fashionable in the sort of 15th, 16th, 17th century to have a huge mansion like Downton Abbey and to have a deer
Talking
park.
about like Michael's.
Yeah, like Michael's.
Yeah,
house.
that's what I mean.
And to have a deer park around it, like a walled enclosure where you had herds of pretty red and fallow deer, and then it was like a mobile fridge. If you needed them, you could get them. And guess what? After the First World War, the great houses disintegrated. All the sons of all the families of those houses were dead in the First World War, like they'd all been machine gunned, so they all died. And the socialist government after the First World War put such massive death duties on them dying for their countries that they had to break up the estates.
Huh.
And so they just let the parks go, and all the fallow deer just went. And now we have.
So is that where a lot of the situation come from when you think of Europe?
Yep.
It was the king's land, the king's animals to a degree.
Aristocrats.
The aristocrats. So
Yeah.
it was all the rich and wealthy that had these moats and walls, and
Yeah.
they had essentially
Yeah.
kind of put the wildlife there. So, of course, you had native. I mean, what was some of the native game there? Was
So
the
we
fallow
only
and stuff native.
we have 2 species of wild deer in the UK. We have
You have that little one.
yeah, but that came from China and India. That's the muntjac you think of, the little
from where the iPhone comes.
Muntjac. Be clear. Anybody want to start Googling the muntjack? Check
the
them
way,
out.
that-
It's pretty cool.
that-
I just want to know, is anybody at the table other than you killed a muntjack?
No.
Never even heard of it.
I shot one, but I think it was a muntjack, but I don't want to talk about where I was at because they'll be trying to call me and ask me if I had a tag. No, I didn't.
Well, Texas.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So you've shot them.
Oh, thousands. Yeah, they're
Thousands.
literally they're shoot on sight in Britain. They're considered vermin
Because they like get in the yard and eat the shrubs, and I mean they tear up everything.
They're hell on young regrowth of forestry. They'll go along and just go and just eat them. But they're amazing fun to hunt, and they never stop moving.
They're pretty small though, right?
Yeah, they're this big. They're Springer Spaniel size, but they would be the best bow hunting thing in the world. They're awesome. You can
You
call
ain't
them.
talking Lee and the hunt no muntjack.
Yeah.
Because it ain't in a mountain at 42,000 feet. You got to have a 200-pound backpack and sleep in a tent. He ain't going. Me, I'll drive up on the golf cart and shoot him.
Shockey would probably go, but now that he's off the coast of Italy eating crustaceans somewhere, he don't hunt as much, you know.
But we can call those things in. We can call them to 25 yards, and they run
Could
at
you, real quick, could you give us the muntjack breeding call, please?
So it translates in whatever language it is. I think it's muntjac translates to barking deer in the language in the.
So what does it sound like? Go ahead.
It barks. It's like a dog, like that.
Rod, you hear that? Anybody here at the SHOT Show that makes calls think they can make us a muntjack call? We want a bone collector version of a muntjack call.
Exactly.
Would you endorse that, Mike?
No, but Nick Munt would.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
that'd
That's
work-
what I'm
that'd work
thinking.
Good, yeah.
That's the one that you got on the show that wears his hat sideways all the time.
Yeah,
Nick,
that's,
yeah, okay. I
that's
just
Nick.
think about
Everybody
that.
wonders why he does it sideways. He's not trying to be cool or to be a rapper. He's got a big knot on his head and it wears a
Makes-
blister. He gets so mad when people pick on him about that.
Makes
It's
a lot.
man, you
I
just
was
gotta-
actually gonna.
So they should pick on him not about the way he's had, about that jacked up head he's got. You know what I mean? He's got a
What-
knotted up head.
Wonder where he was born.
I don't know. I don't know that Nick's ever had a home. Actually,
Spearfish.
yeah, he's living up by the Leering Center in Minnesota now. Yeah, he's been living up there.
So
the
what
last
about
several
you
years.
two? Would you guys go hunt muntjac?
Sure.
Yeah.
That was
Why not?
totally. You could tell there was no passion.
Yeah.
No way. I don't.
No
think so.
bow, no munjack.
Yeah. As long as with a bow, yeah.
I do want to move on though, because you think about now bow hunting. Obviously, you can't in England, but now you're sitting with two of the ladies that have just proved that you know girls just want to have fun and
I
they're
love
pretty
bow
serious
hunting.
and
It's
don't get in their
amazing.
way when they got a bow and arrow in their hand. Tiffany Lakosky, Melissa Bachman. I often tell people is like, I get these questions, you know, like, man, what ladies in the hunting industry are, you know, legit and really cool? And I'm like,
I'm
well,
looking at one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's several out there, but I'm not so sure that if Melissa got pissed at me, she couldn't beat me up. And
Thing about it
Tiffany-
is, these veins is quiet now. You won't even know it hit you in the hip.
oh, I know,
That's all you hear.
I know
You'd
it.
be like, what the hell's that?
I know
But
it.
you know, Lee and Tiffany probably shoot some junk broadhead. You wouldn't bleed to death anyway. I'm just kidding. No, I had to say it. I had to throw it out there. And and tease it up a little bit. But no, you're correct. It's cool because then again, I'm going to talk about John Brunson and his little daughter. I mean, she's beautiful and she's interested in what we do. Teeny little thing. And with the right equipment, that don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think definitely Tiffany and these guys have proven that. Like
Oh.
big animals
Yeah.
killed, and me and Tiffany was actually just talking. I was telling him about Junie's hunted, like everything. Sometimes everything's right there, and then you're like, man, I'm struggling. Every animal I shoot, it's like I can't get nothing under 40 yards, and it's never in the right spot. And you know, and you were saying that some of your shots this year
Oh
were
my
super
gosh,
long.
super long. Yeah, I mean, I shot my mule deer at 65 yards and like
Yeah.
But
you
with the-
whitetails at
With the right
60-ish.
equipment, though, it didn't used to be that way.
No.
Yeah.
Like I know damn well I'm old enough to remember when if you got 70 foot-pounds of kinetic energy out of your compound bow, you had to be shooting 70 pounds. Like or more
Yeah.
to get that. But you don't like the bows and stuff are so efficient now and the arrows and broadheads. There's so much good stuff out there on the market. I'm just saying, I think sometimes the girls, because they have a shorter draw length or less poundage, it discourages them. And don't let that happen to you because these guys right here, Junie, and a lot of girls I know that have shows on the networks, they have proven themselves and they are formidable. I would.
Oh, they've outhunted 90% of the guys in the hunting industry.
Promise you, I'll tell
I'll
you.
go ahead. I mean,
Junie's a better shot.
you got a
than
lot
me.
to say, but I'll
I know
say
that.
this.
We
I'll
only
say
have one
this.
eye.
Yeah. Look, I've seen it. I mean, the male ego in the hunting industry is actually, in some cases, ridiculous. It's dominated by males, but I've seen it. Probably one of the most surprising things when I started working in the hunting industry was the lack of the ability of these hunting industry pros to be able to hunt. Period. Like some of them couldn't hunt their
Can't
way out of a
call a
wet.
turkey.
Well, they couldn't hunt their way out of a wet paper sack. It seemed to be theatrically that I'm a hunter. Look at me and look at this, what I killed and whatever. And so I thought that, you know, Tiffany, you know, when Tiffany and Getting Close, the first show y'all did, I remember, did you hear Shelton was giving y'all hell the other day and he was picking on our theme song and he's like, well, what about Lee and Tiffany's first, you know, life is good, life is fine.
Oh God, I
Life
forgot
is fine.
that. I forgot
He said,
that.
think of the energy that went to write that song. You know, of course he was picking on our, but dude, I remember that just went crazy. Obviously, Lee was getting these big deer, but you had this beautiful blonde that not just was out there being sweet, being cool, but lethal with a bow. And dude, it changed the industry.
I think
it went
so,
nuts.
too.
Went
I think
nuts.
So too.
How did that feel, Tiffany? Was it like shocking?
You know, it's crazy that you say that because we really didn't know, honestly, because
Yeah.
we didn't have social media. You didn't really
Right.
know that people were watching your show. And honestly, we didn't even know that like our show was a hit until we went to the NWTF show and we were supposed to be in the scent lock booth and we got over there and there was like a big long line of people and we're like, oh, Bill must be coming over
Yeah.
or David must be coming over. And then all of a
Hank
sudden
Jr. must have showed up. Yeah, what's
something
going on?
and we had no idea. And then all of a sudden we were just talking to some
Yeah.
people there. We were just, like
That
you said,
takes
we're
like a
just
half
used to
hour
working
figure out they're
shows.
there
Yeah.
to see
And
us.
I just
Like, what?
remember the guy was finally like, "Can you just sign my hat?" And we're like, you want us to sign your hat? Like our actual name? We're gonna like wreck your hat, you know?
Yeah.
But then it just was like that day we were like, holy cow, we had no idea anybody was even watching, to be completely honest. Yeah, I had no idea.
It was pretty cool. Melissa experienced a lot of the same things, and I remember probably the most sorry I've ever felt for you. Lee, remember this? We was up in Ohio at it was a consumer show.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
the Ohio big
Yeah, the
Jurassic Park.
Classic,
Jurassic,
yeah.
yeah,
Classic.
Jurassic Classic.
And having beautiful women that was on television at the time,
Oh, it was a
where it
rough
was
show.
a male-dominated, audience or people that attended. And I remember, we're always high-fiving. All of us are pretty, hug up. I mean, we'll hug the dudes, the men will. But at the end of the day, I remember at the end of that day, everybody was drinking. Beer was being served at this
A
particular
lot of
show.
them
Yeah,
had
you bring
no
your own.
shirts
And
on.
dude, they were
Yep.
coming over, and Tiffany's not real tall anyway.
She was getting pitted.
And I looked on her. She was
100%.
standing beside Lee, and I think it was her left shoulder. I looked, and it was an
Wet.
armpit stain on her white shirt,
Yeah,
where
right
all
on the
these
whole-
guys
all the
were
time.
wrapping their arm around her. And dude, she smelled like a skunk. Remember?
It is a true
Tiffany,
story.
You stink.
Well, it was like
100%.
90 degrees out.
It was
Everybody's
90 degrees,
dripping sweat.
and all these dudes are hugging. I mean,
Then nobody had shirts on, honestly.
Lee's not getting the hugs. He's not got the same.
Thank God.
But poor Tiffany looked like a sheep had been
Yeah.
turned loose in a wolf fest. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, man,
It
that's
makes
crazy.
you.
Yeah,
when-
we did that one
when
time.
you travel
Yes.
with you, like with you and her and me and Junior, it's the same thing. Like, I know what the hell they're there to see, man. They're not there to talk to me. I did a Texas Trophy Hunters. Willie was at it. They had all these big people. We had a line. That line was way out. I'm thinking, man, look at all these people here to see. Please. They didn't care nothing about talking to me.
Yeah.
They was in the perv line over to the left, seeing the same thing. And I remember her telling me years ago about that story about the pitting. And
Yeah.
same thing. I told Junior, just throw the damn shirt away. Just get rid of it.
I think
Throw
that
it
was
away.
probably the third shirt I had on that day, too. That
Oh.
is like honest God
And
truth,
you
because
know,
it was
know.
it was pretty crazy,
but
actually.
it's
And
good. At the end of the day, they're fans.
yeah, it
and
was
It
fun.
is what it is. So, hey.
Oh, they were a little more than fan, I think. I mean, they was like every once in a while, Lee like, hey, that's all right. You got your hug in. All right, that's
We all
I think he was
have-
saying that today earlier to Pigman.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
what I'm saying. I got people standing out there right now trying to get to me. I'm just letting y'all know.
they're trying to get a hug
What
from
I'm- what I'm
Pigman.
trying to tell you.
I know,
Whatever it is.
Is it
It is.
dudes or chicks? What
Hey, nowadays, how the hell do you know?
you don't know, man. It's
I
like
mean, I'm not going to check. I'm going to leave that to
We're in
the,
Las
I'm going to
Vegas.
leave that to the
And you got
bone collector.
you got to get that. You got to get that right too. You can't misgender somebody.
Got to be
you know?
careful, Mike.
I know it.
Gotta
I
be
think we're
careful.
safe in our hunting industry. We can still stay old school
Yeah.
and all. Listen, when was it when you knew like when you got into hunting? Were you super young?
Yeah, I began shooting a bow at 5, and that's all I wanted to do. I went through high school. I got to have a work permit and didn't have to go to school the first 2 hours, so I could bow hunt every morning. And my goal was just to find a way to hunt for a living, and I got to go the route of a cameraman to kick things off.
I
So,
remember,
yeah.
and you was
Yeah.
dang good at that.
Well, I put in a lot of effort, but my goal was to figure out, okay, I'm going to learn everything I can, and I'm going to learn the backdrop of it. I don't have anyone funding me, so I'm going to have to know every step of this, and that was my goal, is to outwork everybody else and hunt as hard as I could and see where it would take.
So you kind of do your own thing. I mean, you edit a lot of your own stuff.
I spend a lot of money, so I want to keep as much as I
Right.
can.
No,
yeah.
no. That's what I'm saying. It's funny because that's kind of the way you got in.
Oh, yeah.
Camera, and then
Yeah.
so it make. And I'm absolutely not that person.
But I went
I
to
don't know
school
that I
for
You
was-
just
that.
went pig. You just went
That's
right
what you
to
went
the
to school
top.
for?
You just went right to the top.
I can
man.
remember a couple.
You
of
like that
times.
Drake's on start up on the bottom now here?
I had a camera,
Yeah.
and I was hunting. We was hunting elk, and this elk come in screaming. I can't see nothing but the tips of the horn, so I'm laid down on my back under this buckbrush, and I've got the camera, and I'm filming up. And I'm thinking, I see Junie up there. Tightening the string up, and my camera guy, he's locked. And I'm like, I'm about to have the best footage anybody ever seen ever. I see the rack, whoa, come up, draws back, elk, boom, blows out of there and takes off running. She stands up, and I'm like, damn. I got up on my knees and stood up and got right over her head, 70 some odd yards across this little spot. She shot this bull. And I'm like, I got the best footage ever.
No record button.
No record.
No record.
I got fired as a cameraman that day. She said, you cannot hunt with me no more. So I can't even hunt in a blind with her anymore. She won't let me. I got straight fired that day. I really thought I had, but I can't. To you guys, benefit. I mean, I cannot look at that screen. I can't. I get focused on the animal, and I know you're supposed to look at the red dot and the little number turning.
Like an
No.
attention deficit, you just can't do it.
I don't
it just
know
freaks
what I
you
got,
out. Like
Mike.
it's
I got something.
witchcraft looking back at you. Is it
I
like
just
a,
really thought I was doing good, and it wasn't even it was a little nothing handicap. It wasn't like it was hard or nothing.
Right.
I didn't have nothing,
Right.
zero.
you should have just did it with your iPhone. You'd had a better chance.
Well,
Right.
you know, maybe back then the iPhone wasn't quality enough, but
BlackBerry.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
a
the
flip.
BlackBerry.
Even a flip phone, hell, you'd have had it.
Just
Yeah.
make sure you
Got
hit
it.
save.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's,
Oh my
over
gosh,
there.
before you
She's
shut
shaking
the
her head
screen.
now because it would have been great. But to your man, I can't imagine doing what you do, like having to actually. I mean, you guys know you film. I'm sure y'all film some of your own stuff, but not a lot.
Nah, we like hunting together some, so a lot of times I'll just go out and film with her, or either one of us can film.
So,
we did a lot when we first started.
Real quick, I want to know the people sitting at this table right here. When is the last time anybody sitting at this table went and actually hunted without a camera? That's what I want to know.
I
We
have.
was talking about that last night.
Yeah, I still do quite a bit.
Yeah, I do.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm not at all. I actually, believe it or not, don't even like doing the TV shows that much. I enjoy hunting, probably way more than I do the video part of it.
Well,
I don't.
Well, you
That-
just made a post, and I thought it was super interesting where you went out with your son and you stayed in a tent and you talked about
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
I am such a believer in things like that, that those are memories that's better than almost anything else. And I saw it and I thought, what a great story. What a great thing to remind people that those kids, they love that. They love your time more than any, huge buck you could have shown them.
Yeah,
Spending
thank
that time
and
together.
it's funny, we
It's cool.
started talking about about the kids. I was talking to them about their kids, and anymore, I would much rather see Junie succeed or one of our kids succeed than I mean, I feel like I've done enough in my life. I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed.
Yeah.
I've been all over the world hunting. I don't even know how. People are crazy enough to even pay me.
Mhm.
I'm blown away and blessed, but I love to watch even people I'm not related to, kids. I love
Right.
to watch them kill stuff
Yeah.
because they get so excited. And I got to be honest with you, I can remember the last time I shot a deer that was over 160, and I didn't get that excited.
Right.
And I don't. To your point, I think maybe some of my problem is I do need to forget Joe and say no. I'm gonna go spend some time
Joe,
on my
well,
own.
you got to realize Joe ain't worried about you either. And that's when we all realize that. Nobody gives a shit. Everybody thinks everybody cares. Nobody cares. Ain't nobody care. At the end of the day, you got to be true to yourself. And to your point, I think I did hunt a lot more in my early days, always with a camera. But as soon as I got to the place where I had my own budget, it was my own places, and my kids, to me, like some of the stuff you got to keep to yourself, I think. And like even a good hunt, like one of my biggest refuels I ever do every year is I go turkey hunting all by myself. I don't even take my kids or wife. Very rarely I even shoot a turkey, but it's kind of like my little meditation.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
your base. I mean, that's what you.
Well,
that's
yeah.
where you got started. Like at one point, you was a world champion turkey caller, right?
Right, yeah.
I mean,
I was into turkey
I
calling
just don't
and hunting.
think a
Yeah.
lot of people. I mean, you've been on TV for so long. I don't think a lot of people really realize that. I think they just think that you was a camera guy
Yeah.
or whatever. I think
I
they
never
forgot that.
really sought it. I never looking at that. I mean, that's a good question for all of us here. Like for me, I never sought out like, man, one day I'm going to be hosting a TV show. I just I want to make a living hunting and fishing. I do remember the early years of Lee and Tiffany, before Lee and Tiffany was married. Man, they come to the booth and Tiffany, I think it shot like a spike or something, or a little smaller
Six
Yeah, the
point.
first-
six
Yeah,
pointer,
little
and
six
dude,
point.
you was just on fire about it, and I can't remember, but I think Lee had a little VHS camera, and then later got a pretty nice camera. And those first videos we used on Monster Bucks.
Right.
And,
That's how we started.
Damn.
And it was
I
just
mean,
the
man,
evolution
You're
of
talking
it.
about way back.
Oh,
I mean,
this was
Oh,
like
it's gotta be
90,
was before
25,
yeah. It
6,
was,
95,
it was before
96.
2000. Even it was in the
Yeah, it was before
90s,
2000.
you know?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
Yeah.
same thing.
You're
We
talking
never
about
never thought we
27,
would.
28
Oh,
years.
Man,
Yeah.
we were telling a story. Mike, you appreciate this. Was telling a story a little bit before. It's worth saying it again. But we were so broke, but we were all the same age, and so we wanted to go out and hit the town. We were, coming from the country. Tiffany can correct me, but Lee was an engineer, graduated as an engineer. I think quickly realized that, man, I got the mind and probably the smarts, but I don't really enjoy what I'm going to be doing. and Tiffany was an airline stewardess or flight attendant, whatever's the right way to say it. And so Lee and Tiffany could fly anywhere because Tiffany had the credentials. And so, but at the end of the day, we were all broke. Like we had no money. And so one time we was at a booth and they had water that was given away to the people. So Lee and Tiffany and I started selling the water for $1 a piece so we'd have beer money the rest of the night. Literally, we was selling for $1 and we was like, we probably shouldn't be doing this.
Only
It's
one
like,
time.
$1.
Only one day.
Yeah, we didn't do it the next day. We felt bad about it.
Yeah, we felt bad. But well, yeah, we did pretty
If you
well.
made enough money to do it.
Maybe some of these people standing right out here maybe
They might have bought a bottle of water from Tiffany Lakosky back in the
See,
NWT.
now, Lee and Tiffany, you talking about that. Now they're probably the biggest donor to the Trump campaign that is. I mean, quadrillionaires over here, man. Quadrillionaires. So I know that I was told if I wanted a tag in Iowa, I had to talk to Lee.
He was the governor.
He's like one click under the governor. Yeah, that's what I was told.
Governor Lakosky. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
funny.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
funny.
so.
It's funny. 'Cause
It's either Governor Lakosky or Governor Kiski. I can't remember, and I don't know if that's Candy
If
or
you
Don.
want
I don't know.
Yeah, you want a governor take, go through Candy.
Candy's
Candy's-
another good one, boy. She's a mess, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
She can make
man.
that
You
happen
think-
usually.
like I don't even know what year, 17, 18, something like that, but I just think, damn, y'all
Oh, I know.
talking about, I mean, that's a long time,
Oh my
26.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember talking about Melissa. I remember particularly like my first break to actually make some money because you really, I think a lot of people had this misconception you could get into hunting television or maybe people knew your name, you'd be wealthy, and that was far from the truth. And I still
Wow.
think it's far from the truth.
Oh, it is.
But I remember I had a chance to do some stuff with Gander Mountain, and they were
remember
paying
that.
really well. And so another mutual friend of mine and Melissa's, I go up to the store. I want to say it was Eden Prairie,
It
maybe.
was Eden Prairie.
And so anyway, gentleman says, "Hey, this cameraman I got. Well, actually, it's a camera girl, but who's shooting us today and doing some stuff." He said, "But I'm telling you right now, she is a badass, dude. Like we don't even hang stands. This girl go hang all our stands, camera stands. She hangs all the deer stands." And so anyway, it was the first time I walked in, and I was so shocked because there's this beautiful young lady standing there. It's Melissa, and I'm like, there is no way. There's no way. And then quickly I shook her hand. I'm like, okay, you could tell she was stout. And to this day, like, man, I mean, there's not many that I would say, hey, we need to go hang stands. Like, Melissa, why don't you go down here to the south? You hang a couple down there. We'll go over here, you know. So anyway, it's amazing right away. I mean, it was just, hit it off and just your work ethic. And I remember thinking when I left there that day, we were just shooting some in-store stuff.
Yeah,
and I thought, that lady there, she's
I didn't have
gonna
a
make
clue what I was doing, so I just
Yeah,
shot
what-
everything.
it. Yeah.
I remember seeing that all over everything because not far from me there was a big Gander Mountain store. I think it's Corsicana, Texas, just south of Dallas. And I remember going in that store years ago and seeing your stuff all over everything, and just like, what the hell happened to them? Like it seemed like they wasn't alive long, and it just went away.
It was a cool store. I don't know exactly what happened. I think there's a lot of mystery, some of the things in the hunting industry. What was your big break, Pig? When did you start hunting?
After I was modeling for Abercrombie and Fitch
Yes.
and Rip Curl, some of them people like that,
Right.
they said, "Man, look at this cat." No, all jokes aside, there was I was always.
By the way, we'll get it done so you can get to the Thunder Down Under. I know you
Right.
said you only can be 30
I gotta be there at
minutes.
6:30.
6:30. I saw you on the billboard down there.
So
He's
I
on
asked
Magic
the
Mike
guy,
after
Bellagio.
that.
come and hunt with me, and I was killing some big pigs with a bow. That was kind of my thing, and I'm not going to name them because I love them to death. They have TV shows, but they meant to be entertainers and not killers, and it takes a certain setup. That many years ago to kill a big pig, because all they do is wound them.
Mhm.
And the guy's like, this guy had a show on, and it wasn't even Discovery at the time. The show was called Quest for the One. It was a Gowdy show, and he had a guy from Minnesota that was, he had never killed a pig with a bow, and I understood why. He's like, I got to get him to kill a pig with a bow. And I said, it ain't happening. Just telling you, it's not going to happen. He can't do it.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And he wounded a pig, blah, blah, blah. His producer, long story short, said, you need a show. And I started talking, I seen the light shining off of his head a minute ago. Monty Daniel. I know right where he's at all the time because I can see him. But he's like,
The
"You
light
need a
shining
show."
off your head,
Yeah.
Monty.
And then I guess, Mike, what kind of made it was and it had a lot to do with Nugent. In 11, they passed the pork chopper bill. And I had some friends that were starting a helicopter service, which probably is the premier helicopter service in the world for hogs. And a heli hunter. And me and Nugent did a couple of episodes. The next year, he could not do it. And I thought, boy, I don't know what kind of numbers we're going to get without him, because he's a little wild. And he does have a Class 3 fully auto.
Yeah.
Yeah, a loose cannon, to say the least. I don't know how many shots. I know he shot a 60-round magazine at 4 pigs that all was 30 pounds or less, and he ain't hit neither one of them.
Oh, dude, he was whacking at them?
Nothing. And then after that, I think that's kind of when it took off. And that was the first time I seen these two guys is at the Harrisburg show.
Oh.
When y'all had that big nice booth set up, you sell all your apparel and stuff.
Yep.
And that's kind of where I come from. I just said, here's the deal. I'm too stupid to be something other than what I am.
Right.
If it ain't a teleprompter.
Did you get any argument with that?
No. Everybody loves me just the way I am. So I got, you make friends in the space. So I go yesterday, go to Hornady, and one of my second longest sponsor ever, Jason Hornady, comes up to me and said, "Hey, I see you found the ugly shirt store." Come on, man. I mean, my wife got me that for Christmas. I thought I was snazzy looking yesterday, but that's it. Just unfortunately, honest to God, hunting with people that what you started off saying, I'm glad everybody does it. I'm glad everybody tries. I'm just simply saying some people are better at it than others. And I will give Michael some credit. The worst ass whooping that I ever took in my life hunting was a squirrel hunt. We both had the same air rifle, but I'm telling you, he paid the man with the dog.
Nope.
We did not see a damn squirrel. So you can't shoot a squirrel if you don't see a squirrel.
Hey,
and he shot 40.
Squirrel Master Classic. We proved to be the Squirrel Masters.
Whatever. One of these days we're going to have that.
It's just like when you play football. Sometimes you got a man that wins and loses. Pig was on the losing end of that, and we brought our own dogs, though. I will say we brought our own dogs.
Well, the man that had my man with his dog, I don't know what he hunts with that dog, but it's not squirrel.
Dude, you and Junie was eating a sausage biscuit at the restaurant by 7:30. Junie.
She's the only one that killed a squirrel, and there wasn't even a dog within 300 miles.
So think about this. Junie's out here in the live audience. Junie is the only one that killed a squirrel on your team, Pig.
I'll tell you what.
Can we switch seats?
I'm always telling you. Y'all want her up here, bring her up here.
No.
I'm telling you right now, she's like Tiffany. Like these girls right here, I'm trying to tell y'all straight. Y'all want somebody to look up to.
Oh, yeah.
Like you little girls out there that think y'all can't do it, y'all better shut up.
Junie's awesome. I agree.
The only times I let people tell me to shut up on camera, when I'm paying the bills, would be her.
Right.
Anybody else, somebody's going to whoop my ass.
You just jump up and whoop them.
That's it.
Just goddamn go UFC and shit.
She's told me many times, we'd be in a blind together in Mexico hunting. Avelina come in, I'm like, okay. And she's burning me down like I have a process. And I said, okay. Well, that process, that javelina's going to die of old age before you shoot it with an arrow.
Yeah.
And it's just the way she processes. But I can think back and watching your stuff, if you really think back, the last 20 animals that I think me and her have been together and harvested, I'd say probably half of mine was bad shots and all of hers are good shots.
Junie can shoot.
Nothing to say.
I'm telling. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like us men sometimes beat our chest, and I've seen her shoot. And it's just a more complex. I've seen Junie, and a lady that understands mechanics are killers.
And I had one question for you. Do you know what a natty light is?
Absolutely no idea.
Yeah,
I just wondered. I'm just wondering because Michael threw that at him, and I was like, he's looking like, what the hell is a natty? I think he thinks it's an exotic animal.
Yeah, natty light. It kind of is. It'll turn you into an animal if you have too many of them. But I wonder, you still living? No, you living out west now, but you grew up in Minnesota, right? I wonder if there's an overload now with everything going on up there Is there a lot of good deals on bacon right now up there?
I'm not sure. I haven't been there
I
for
mean,
a
you
while.
should be. I mean, I would think that'd be the cheapest place in the world right now because this can't be high
You
sales.
talking about South Dakota? Is that where you stay in South Dakota?
I live in South Dakota, but I'm
Yeah.
from Minnesota.
Well,
like
I
you
was
said.
talking to a sponsor of mine yesterday that is from South Dakota, and they were saying that in the days to come, there's like negative 50 wind chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's wonderful. We love that. And you want to know why? Because it keeps people out.
Dude,
Oh, really?
it kept me
like-
out of International
yeah.
Falls, Minnesota. I went on
Oh,
a fishing trip, ice fishing trip,
No.
and I swear I thought, if hell was frozen, this is what.
Yeah, but it's so nice because there's
It is.
so few people, and we
That's the coldest
absolutely
I've ever
love
been
it.
in
We
my
have
life.
neighbors
Give me
nearby.
a-
I love it.
Give me a 30
It's like
second
Iowa.
prep.
Yeah, there's
on
not a lot of people there.
Like,
Perfect.
what do y'all do? Like, we talking about diesel, gel, you put that additive in your diesel. I mean, everything, I guess, in the
It's
north.
pretty cold in
block
Iowa up
heaters.
there where they're at.
Yeah, block heaters and stuff. Like,
We have a heated garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't
There you go.
Yeah, we have a heated garage.
oh, so that makes sense. So you've got your trucks in there, so
Yeah.
it's never getting too cold to start
No.
up or
Yeah.
whatever.
Not
So
usually.
it's
in
not-
Iowa, it doesn't get that cold there. I mean,
It's
not
only
like
20
Minnesota.
below in Iowa.
Negative.
I wish.
Yeah, I know.
This
we could-
muzzleloader season
I
was
know we could
pretty
barely
hot.
get it to under 50 this
I know.
year, but
God.
Warm
know.
weather.
but it's funny how much it changed. Like, we have a cabin still. We're from Minnesota, but we have a cabin up there still. You look at when it's been warm at home, like 50s up there was like 2 below for a low and like 3 for a high. So it was like, wow, it's still cold up there. I wish it would drop down some, but this year was terribly warm everywhere we went.
Yeah.
You're very lucky to have proper seasons though over here. Like
Yeah.
the year I left Britain last year, we had 310 days of rain.
Oh,
Ugh.
that
So,
would be terrible.
That's like Seattle.
And that happened. Well, and here's the problem. You know, our deer seasons are very long. So the fallow deer season starts on like the 1st of August for males. And then the females come in the 1st of November and they go all the way through to the end of March. And then the males carry on all that way through till the end of April. So you got 8 months of
So
at least.
over there, is it like, do you have to find private land?
Yeah, it's all
Or-
private.
It's all private.
There's not
so
an
there's
acre
no
of public access.
So you basically just got to go to people and say, "Hey, can I hunt your place?" Or you pay?
Not very much. I mean, I've got some amazing leases there, but it's kind of a balance. You go to a landowner, and the landowner goes to you, and you'll say, "Look," they'll say, "Look, I can't farm. There's 500 fallow deer sitting on my fields," and so you'll go, "All right, I'll sort that out for you. I'll give you a token sum, a few thousand, whatever, and then the only reason you'll lose that land is if you don't kill enough deer."
Right.
That is honestly, that's the
That honestly was a lot of that around here. I know up in Lee and Tiffany's country in Iowa, Illinois, all the first permission I got to hunt in Illinois, that was it. It's like, you can come, but kill as many deer as you can. I'm like, man, I can only kill 2. I got a buck and a doe in Illinois, and you would get kicked off
yeah,
because that was before.
MLD.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and 2, and I think even in America, this wasn't that long ago. This was just out of high school, so 91, 92. When I drive, you could drive anywhere in the Midwest and you could just hunt for free. Now, a lot of people, that brings up, and I do want to bring up some of those controversial topics that you see across social media and the warriors out there, of far as, now you say everything's too expensive, everything's this and that. Well, I do remember a time where there was no value on the deer.
Right.
And that was in America. Now, they still was a game of fish and people still was seeking big deer, but there was not. And the reason I know that is not untrue is because I was the kid from Georgia who had read North American Whitetail.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, I got to get to Illinois. I got to go to Iowa. I mean, I know what it's like to hunt Georgia. There's a lot of access, but no big deer. So you would drive to Illinois. I remember I drove to Pike County. Every single door I knocked on said, you can come, but kill all these bastards.
Right.
Yeah.
They wanted
Yeah.
them all dead. Not a big buck. Nobody cared if it was 4.5, 5.5. They didn't care what the game and fish department. All those farmers, they were cutting into their livelihood with those beans and corn.
Yep.
And they were so many deer. But then soon after that, you'd kill a big deer. And then that same guy from Georgia would say, hey, man, would you think about if I gave you $1,000 a year, would you let me come? Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take you 1,000, keep killing deer.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, I'm going back telling a buddy, like, dude, you ain't going to believe it. I killed a dude, I was there only 2 days. We wasn't even looking for giant deer. Looking for a Pope and Young, a deer that scored 125, which was super easy up there. And then you come back, tell your buddy, then that would go to the guy that had a lot of money. So where you was paying him 1,000, they'd come back and say, hey, I'll give you
Yep.
5,000.
Yep.
And it just, and next thing you know, here we are, 2026. We're going to stop for a quick break, but please don't go anywhere. We got so much to come.
Spandau Arms was founded with a simple idea. The best part of hunting isn't the gear, it's the memories. From the first rooster rise of the season in the tall grass to the last second opportunity on the target buck as sunset closes in. Spandau believes firearms should be built to perform, priced to be accessible, and designed to become an essential piece of your hunting story. Their lineup includes field-ready shotguns and precision-driven rifles built for hunters, competitors, and recreational shooters who know that quality and dependability matter more than the hype. Born from the experience of American hunters and crafted by generations of gunmakers, each Spandau firearm is built for real-world performance in the moments that matter.
Look, I love a good cigar. I also love a campfire and stories and a little philosophical talk with my buddies in hunting camp. Like I said, nothing tops it off like a good stogie. And if you're looking for that ultimate cigar experience, Cigars International is your go-to destination for premium handmade cigars. As the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and customer service that's second to none. Plus, free shipping every day. There's no minimums, there's no limits. Just shop, check out, and enjoy free delivery on every order. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned aficionado, Cigars International makes it easy, approachable, and fun with expert guides, staff reviews, and helpful advice. It's not just about cigars. They've also got cool accessories from humidors and much more to elevate your smoking experience. Ready to light it up? Right now, you can get 20% off your order plus free shipping every day with my code Waddell. That's WADDELL at checkout or visit cigarsinternational.com/Waddell and the discount code will automatically apply.
Well, we don't really have any value over there in the deer. Like it's
Right.
It's the cheapest place to shoot something in the world. Like even a record size fallow buck will be, I won't go into numbers, but by US standards, a piddling amount. Like,
Oh, cool.
and the problem we have is that the good thing is we're allowed to sell them, right? So we can sell them into the public through a USDA style thing. Like I have a factory so we shoot them, we get a government inspector checks
Oh,
them,
yeah.
stamps
So
them.
it's like a meat processing facility.
Yeah, like USD.
That you have to go
Kind of like
through.
our cattle.
Like you
Yeah.
ain't just shooting them and throwing them in the back of the truck, whacking a ham off.
No,
and
there's
selling them.
rules.
Right.
I
But
got you.
but on the other hand, it does mean that everything's utilized properly.
So do you guys experience any kind of, because I got something, a game warden just called me about 2 weeks ago in southern Colorado, and we was talking about CWD, and I'm just wondering,
No, not yet.
none of that at all there?
There's
like,
been a
with
couple
anything?
of blue tongue incidents in one part of the country,
That's interesting.
but not yet. And the biggest one is TB for us.
What?
Tuberculosis.
I was like tuberculosis.
Bovine TB.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it spreads through badgers, and then the deer which are protected, and then
No,
deer.
whoa. So you got a badger funking up everything, and you can't kill it?
You can't even look at it in a funny way.
Well, you
No.
have to do something about that.
No, you can't use a bow, but they'll throw you in
I-
jail for
you know,
killing a
I know-
badger.
I know
What is the
Mike-
reason for no bows over there? You
know
took
what?
the whole history with that.
It's
What would be the
Nugent.
purpose
So
of that?
it's now emotional, pure and simple. Like we have such a liberal left-wing society,
Yeah, that's
and
what
it's
it's all,
so
it's all
urban.
emotion, not
They
anything
do
on
not
science.
believe that is a formidable
No
weapon.
logic. Like I can show people. I'm now one of the reasons for coming here and hunting is I just love bow hunting, and I've just come back from a week in Mexico, which was I do it
Old
every
Mexico.
year, and old Mexico, and it was stellar.
20
Where
kills.
you can kill javelinas.
Yes, sir.
And
Truckloads.
and it's a great system. There's a big ranch a friend of mine owns. It's been high fenced. It's very big, and so he has to cull a certain amount of deer every year, and he's doing it without bringing in vast amounts of bred animals. It's just through selection, and we do the culling by archery. So
Yep.
your rules
A
are
lot
like
of guys down there, that's what
Yeah.
they do. And then I heard you speak to MLD,
Yeah.
which is a Texas program,
Yeah.
and you get issued a certain amount of tags a
it's
year,
crucial. Yeah.
and you have to harvest that many animals, or the next year you lose
That's right.
the animals. You don't get that many if you're not harvested. I actually called one ranch that was 80 does and 45 bucks.
Oh yeah, I know a few
So
like that.
we just pile them up. The first time I took my son there, I don't know, I think he shot 16 deer.
But the problem,
He's like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just riding around, pow, pow.
But there's a problem with that, which is what do you do with 80 does? So, I mean, one of the things
Donate it.
you donate it, but it's
You have to pay for the processing.
yeah.
Because there's no program. Some areas have a program where they'll bring a trailer
That's
out
right.
and you can donate, and they'll do. We've done a deal actually with the network in the cities where we donated the wild game, and they would cook this big mulligan stew. And I tell you what, kudos to these guys, because
Yeah.
I thought you got this picture in your mind of what this person looks like that you're helping, and no, it's moms with the little kids and stuff like that. Like it's incredible. It's incredible. But that's what a lot of it. So you can get a processor that works with you in
Yeah.
Texas for $50
Yep.
a deer, and then you can just, once it's processed like that, then you can just give it away. A lot of the people go to churches and stuff like, because I've had a million people, all of us had, hey, get me a deer. Well, when they tell you to get me a deer, what they mean is get me a deer, skin it, quarter it if you can, and put it in a cooler. And if you don't mind, go ahead and take it to the processor and get it in them 1 pound packages. That would be preferably. They looking at you, got a deer hanging there that's gutted, and they're like, worst one, take your deer. You want to quarter it up? I don't know how to do that. Skin it, quarter it up, put it in the cooler. Never see the cooler again.
Yeah.
Give a deer away to get a
I had a
$250
few.
motor.
I had a few growing up. Man, as a kid, we'd shoot a deer, and you could drag them right into up on the porch in the house of some of these old country communities. I mean, they were
Right.
like, "Thank you." They would. The deer would be half in the house. They'd come out there. And,
Here's a question: If you shoot, I mean, this is Texas again, so I haven't much experience elsewhere. You shoot a deer. Everyone, all my neighbors, everybody, they shoot deer, and they just take them straight to a processor somewhere. So rarely are they bled or.
Are you
butchered.
you saying they not gutting it? They taking the whole deer.
Well, I think people do both. Some people
Well,
gut
I
them.
think depending on what kind of temperature, that's the first thing you need to do is get the cuts out.
Well, that's my point. Is
Yeah.
that I'm a restaurateur and a chef primarily. That's my business. I own a bunch of wild game restaurants in the UK, and I've done that for
Millionaire.
20 years. And yeah, right.
rich
and,
man, rich man.
And
You got any property we can hunt over there with you for muntjacks?
a lot.
I want to kill a muntjack.
that's right.
Come and find me afterwards. We'll have a chat.
So how is I know I've eaten tons of fallow. How is the muntjack meat?
Sensational. Sweet, amazing.
If you eat axis deer,
I love it. It's amazing.
is it better than muntjack?
No, it's on a par.
It's about the same.
But they're different.
We've got to get us some muntjacks. These
Yeah,
up here.
sounds
Yeah, but that's
good.
I
not-
think George is where we need to turn them loose.
That's not the only one.
They'll
We
do
have.
fine.
We
for a
also
little
have
while.
Chinese water deer. You heard of them?
No,
You've heard of them, Melissa. Yeah, they're
Chinese.
like vampire teddy bears,
I
right?
got, I got
And
teeth.
they're
huge
fangs.
Yeah,
things, right?
fangs.
And furry things, and you hit them and it's like fur goes everywhere. And
Man, this old boy here's a maniac.
And,
He acts like he's a cook, but he's way more than a cook, I think.
that's how I got into it. I bought a restaurant in a country pub near where I grew up, and I wanted to do something different. So I wanted to start serving wild game instead of buying my ingredients. So I started talking to
Good for
farmers,
you.
got licensed, started shooting deer. Local guy processed them for me. Our menu became known as somewhere where you could eat venison, hare, rabbit, pigeon, occasionally squirrel.
Yeah.
And
What about wild boar?
amazing. We cannot keep it on the menus. It is the most popular thing on earth. But in the whole of Britain, we probably shoot 1,000 a year. There's very few.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I know here, or not say here, Texas, there's a lot of places, the guys trap hogs, and they'll take them to a place, and like there's a company in Texas that operates, but they actually they're buying the meat to send overseas. Some of
Yep.
it go to New Zealand, some of it go to different places, but Southern Wild Game,
Yep.
and it goes through that process that Michael was speaking about, where it's all, it's clean,
Yep.
it's all safe, and then that's actually what they do with it.
And it's awesome that they do that because, I mean, some of it, like I just built, I mean, not for commercial reasons, just because I needed to. I just built at our house a huge processing facility because I want to get local friends coming up and teach them how to do it and get a
Sounds like to me, Mike, we should have did a cooking show. That's where all the money's at. I mean, he's building
Oh,
mansions and all this stuff.
And it's a facility that anyone can use in the area. And I want locals to come up and I want to show them the ways you can do it. There's a lot more to deer than just backstraps and ground and
Absolutely,
sausage, right?
absolutely,
So
yep.
same with pigs. I just shot a pig last week. I meant to ask you, have you ever shot a pig with one ear?
I've shot a pig with no ears.
So
Like the devil.
So I mean, literally
why
no
it's- you
hole
know why
on
it's
one
gone.
side.
Ah.
Why it's gone.
Weird.
The dog tore it off. That's
Dog.
why it's gone.
Been caught before.
Yeah, and then a lot of guys, there's parts of Louisiana, they're lard hogs. They'll mark them a certain way, like one ear on the right side will have 2 slits.
Oh.
They'll catch them with the dog, or a lot of the old timers where I'm from will actually catch them and bar them.
Just, I mean,
Castrate them.
Yep.
And
Same
then
in
turn 'em,
Georgia.
and then all they do is, I've hunted places on peanut fields in Georgia.
Oh,
They
yeah. Tons
They
of
just
them.
get swole. They're so fat, their stomach drags the ground. And once you impale the old boy, he's pretty much going to do nothing but walk around and eat and try not to get in a fight.
Yeah.
That's and then the teeth just gets big and big and big, and it's just amazing. There is some places in Texas and East Texas where they cut both ears off.
okay.
They cut both ears off, flush with the head.
But I'm
But that's
blown
a-
away by how good eating these
That
hogs
is a
are.
wicked looking pig with no ears, with big teeth. I can tell you.
Yeah.
I'll show
I
you a picture
always
after this.
tell these guys, their son, I wanted him to kill his first pig with me. I'm thinking about some of our sponsors, and you guys have been doing it your whole career. You're friends with the people.
Right.
You see their kids. You've taken their kids hunting. And the guys at Hornady, the marketing director of Hornady, which you're a Hornady guy, Neil, both of his boys killed their first deer with me in Pearsall, Texas.
Yeah.
And the little one, which is now 6'4", weighs 240, he played college football. A scope hit him in the face, and he started squalling. I mean, he didn't weigh 30 pounds soaking wet. And he said, I can't see out the window. And I said, okay. I set my pack up in the chair. I set him up in the chair. His name's Aiden. And I had a AR 308. I told him, he said, I said, right behind the shoulder, buddy, my man dumped the clip. Yeah, we had shrapnel. The buck went down, and he shot another deer. And I'm like, finally just had to grab the gun away from him. I said, he's a maniac. Neil said, you give him too many Snickers. But, my career, just thinking back on them kids are, the oldest boy is a guide in New Zealand, which I'm sure Neil probably told you that. And Aiden goes and guides in New Zealand for hunting. So that's the space they're in. They both film, they both edit. That's what they grew up doing. But I'm just blessed to be a part of that, man.
Yeah.
Just to be in
But
there.
speaking of that, man, in the hunting industry or any industry at all, I hate to even talk about hunting as an industry, but obviously we're at the SHOT Show.
is.
So you got firearm companies, you got companies that represent boots, you got represent, from camouflage, you name it. So it's still hunting and shooting here. But at the end of the day, you look at what we do on Outdoor Channel, you look at all the shows that we've all been being a part of, and you can see there's always like a period of certain things that go on. Like, it could be, is the movement getting kids involved? Is the movement, man, we got a lot more women hunters getting into the space. Is it a trophy animal? Then always you get into the stuff of baiting versus non-baiting and deer farming versus public and private. Now you got, man, are you hunting in a redneck blind? Or are you hunting in a saddle in public ground? I want to start with Lee. Where do y'all think this industry, where are we at right now? I mean, as a melting pot of what people want to see and where it's at. And I ask that because I know, we grew up where every dollar we ever saved was trying to buy ground to try to get quality hunting. We wanted to shoot something like Dick
Right.
Idle that we read about.
Right.
He's basically saying exactly what they are about. That's
Well,
where
yeah,
they started. I mean,
I was just going to let's start with Lee and let him just talk about that, where he thinks of that. And I want everybody to kind of give their pace, because I do think it's what we do. It's important to pay attention to it, but we also got to be true to ourselves as well.
Right. I still think that everybody, even though if you went on social media, if anytime you see anybody shoot a big one, they're always, oh, it's a high fence or this or that.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's sad too. I almost feel sad for those people, because I don't know anyone like that. Like I've never imagined myself like going on somebody's page and saying something negative. If I was going to comment about anything, it would be something positive or try to encourage them or something else. I'm just like, who does that? But it's rampant. So there's so many people. So I kind of feel bad. I almost feel like,
a lot of it is
what are
jealousy.
the younger people, where is it coming to really? Because I'm sure every one of them would love to have the opportunities that we had, like to be able to, manage your own place and try to get older deer and stuff. It's just a kind of a process. We didn't start out that way. We all started out with nothing, and just trying to shoot a buck.
Right.
For me, growing up in the cities, I just wanted to see a deer, basically.
But I got friends that knows Lee, that's like being around him. Says he's smarter on deer than anybody that he ever.
Oh, yeah.
This a dude that I know has whacked some magnums. I mean, some people just got it. Some people, like my dad was that way. He could just go, he'd get in a ladder. I've been sitting in for 4 days and kill a big deer. It's just some people's that way.
Let Lee finish what he's talking about, though, right there. You're right, because one thing, what even Pig interjected into the fact is, you're right. I mean, one thing I do know about you and Tiffany, it was a goal. I mean, literally, you did start from the bottom. Obviously, you're educated. Y'all had jobs, but that wasn't where you're calling in life. You wanted what you went after. You rolled the dice to possibly lose it all.
And we didn't really care. Money wasn't. I didn't really care about that. I just wanted to hunt and be able to do the things that we love. But I think if you try to get into younger kids, it's just all about your work ethic. It's just like what Melissa was saying. If you're going to do something, you just go after it 100%, and it'll work out for you. It doesn't matter if you want what you want to do. It's like if you work at it, it's not going to come easy. You got so many people they think it just landed on you or did something. They don't see the work that goes into everything that you do. So I wish you could get that point across. It's like you can do whatever you want to. You just have to go work at it every day. But it's like lots of things that I see now is like, especially like we have like camera guys that are younger and stuff, and they're really into like the saddle stuff and public. So we have one of our camera guys won't even say, hey, we got some deer to hunt if you want to hunt it. No, he likes the challenge of going on public and trying to find a good one.
Yeah.
But it's different in Iowa. I mean, public land is,
Pretty
I always
amazing.
tell people, I say, look, people will say, oh, if I could hunt on your farm. But I look at the farms that we have, we hunt them like almost every day. I mean, somewhere on one of them. We have buddies and friends and stuff. I guarantee you there's not a piece of public land in Iowa that gets hunted every day as much as like ours does.
Right.
I understand that. I agree with you. I know exactly what you mean.
So it's not like the only difference between mine is we don't shoot them unless they're 5 or 6 years old. So we might have them, but neighbors certainly do.
But they have pressure on them. They do get pressure.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's more pressure than any of our public stuff. So it's like you can still shoot big ones in Iowa doing that, which isn't necessarily the case in a lot of other states. Because we just don't let a lot of non-residents in, so there's not a lot of pressure. But you look at like Iowa only has 8% timber, so it's not like a deer factory. Like it can't withstand the pressure of something like in Illinois or something that have like 26 or almost 30% timber and stuff. We just don't have the cover for them. So it's great because we keep the hunting numbers down, and so you can get mature ones. And I think that's what everybody wants is all the internet people that it's not, you have a food plot that's like baiting and all that stuff. Every one of them wants what we were lucky enough to get, but we worked at it. If you told them, all right, well, if there's a 200-inch buck on that farm, you want to go hunt that? And bet you never would say, no, I want to go over on public over here. Yeah. But that's a lot of it that you get is just like people, well, try coming to Pennsylvania and shoot one or on public or something. It's like, but that's not what my goal is. It's like, the hard part is finding a bait. We're not necessarily shooting them. It's like the whole answer is like you have to. It's finding one,
right?
And it's not really killing them. It's like, why would I want to go if there isn't one there?
Part of what you're talking about, what you guys do too, though, it's like you have the property. I get what Mike was saying about the saddles and everybody want to be rode. I ain't getting in a saddle. Mm-hmm. I'll kill my damn self. I'm telling you now.
So that's what it's at now.
But you guys have built your career.
Pigs almost managed that a couple times. That was a bad wreck you had.
Bad. But you guys have groomed that, and that's what you're doing. And later in life, you have your family now, and you're farming, and that's part of the success is not actually killing that deer, but seeing what the hell you done to your property.
Right.
And because of what you've done, that's why that deer looks like that.
And Tiffany, what like, not that I want to concentrate on the negatives, but I think a lot of times the negative is what people see, and it's funny because I got to where I don't even read comments much at all.
I don't either.
But if you do read, you'll see majority of positive, whether it's you go girl or, oh, Melissa, your kids are so beautiful, or, oh, man, you can tell the people that's not even worried about the deer. Right. They're worried about, the whole deal and asking them, talking about the legacy of your mom and what a great, amazing woman she was. You see all these positives, but then all of a sudden, even the public, you'll see this one like farm deer, or you'll see stuff negative I've seen it with you. I've seen it, with Tiffany. What's some of the toughest things that was hard for you to handle as a female hunter? Just some of the comments that would come in, or did you ever get to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of times, like you said, it must be easy. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I did not shoot a deer in Iowa until December. It's like, if it was really that easy, do you really think that I would wait till December? I would have been eating bonbons at home and certainly not busting my butt out there doing it.
If it was easy, Chuck Schumer would be hunting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's very easy to be a nameless, faceless person and just write whatever you want on somebody else's page. And so I've kind of gotten like you. I don't even read the comments anymore. In fact, if I ever even hear any of the comments, it's always like one of my friends like, did you see what they wrote about you? And then I'll like look it up and I'm like, that is terrible. You can't even look at that stuff. But I mean, I'm kind of with Lee though. It's like, I just feel sorry for people. I'm like,
I do too.
I mean, every once in a while, Nate Thomas actually said, he's like, boy, you just reamed that guy. And I'm like, well, I was riding my Peloton and that's the only time I'll look at social media for the most part. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm riding my bike. I'm doing something else. And I got so annoyed at the gentleman because he was really negative, and I was like, I see that you just retired. That's what I said. I want to go on somebody's page sometime, and I'll see that they shot a deer and be like, "Hi, fans," and just start like just bashing them, just writing like comments on their page and just see what that would do.
Yeah.
But I was so annoyed because it's like, my dad died when I was 20. He died of a heart attack. His only dream was to retire, move up north, and fish. That's all he wanted to do. And obviously he didn't make it. And this gentleman was in his 60s and he made it. And the only thing he could do is come on our page and be like, high fence deer. And I'm like, where have you been? Obviously you've never hunted high fence. And I just lit the guy up because I was like, you know what? You made it. You made it to retirement. You had the American dream. You made it. You can do whatever you want. And the only thing you're doing right now is sitting on my page, which we've never hunted high fence, which is ridiculous anyways, and commenting on that I'm hunting high fence and that we're doing this and that. And I'm like, my dad, I would do anything to have my parents here and doing what you're doing right now. And living and being alive.
Somebody showed me that one because I don't really look at it either. It's what she wrote on there. And she's like, no, kids are killing themselves, suicide over bullying. And here you are, 60 years old, basically bullying. It's like, you should be, where are your kids? Do you have any kids?
Yeah.
What kind of example are you setting to kids today? You're 60 years old and basically going on somebody's page and bullying them, something you know nothing about. You obviously know nothing about
totally false things. And I just got so mad because I'm like, listen, I said, you're wasting your life. This is what you're choosing to do with your life right now. And
you actually responded
I
yourself.
did, and I did respond myself. I was like, Tiffany Lakosky Facebook page, it's like, that's wrote on our comment.
Yeah.
But it just was so disappointing to me that that's what they were choosing to do,
Too, I could care less. What people
I could care less either, but it's for those kids that it's like, that's where you have to take a stand.
And my people, like, we actually had to take Junie's page down because of death threats to our children. Fact. And she's like, I am not going to do this. It's not worth doing this. And a lot of people ask me all the time, what happened? Why did we killed that page right now? It just, that you guys are standing out there watching all of us. And I know you're thinking, man, you guys are so lucky. But again, it makes me think, like, me and Michael, we're at a different point in our life where our kids are than you guys are.
Yeah.
And you've done it a long time, and you have them to think about. Would you to ever believe that I would have sat here and told you that them damn people got on Facebook, like, threatening to kill our kids?
Oh, yeah.
Because
it happens.
But you really can't give into that because it's such a small amount. That's the hard part, because it's like there's not that many of them compared. They're just the loudest talkers out there.
You see a lot of the hate more. And even when I think about Melissa and Tiffany, Junie, it seems that I don't know, man. I see a lot of that. I drew a complete blank.
You think it's jealousy from people?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like it's easier for people to bully around the lady hunter and somehow push them. Even some of the fellow ladies will jump jump on and talk
Well, I'll
negative.
talk a little bit more
I
about
wanted
that.
to get you to weigh in on that.
I do a lot of speaking engagements, and I'll talk with people, and I'll basically do this whole thing about how as hunters, we need to unite better, right? Because the anti-hunting community, they're super united. They have a united front. In our community, we have all these fractures. So I'm always talking about, let's try to get kind of on the same page with some of this. And, you know, I've had people show up at my home when I lived in Minnesota. I mean, I went through all, it was a whole ordeal. The FBI had to get involved. Like, it's crazy. But I think sometimes you got to remember, like, I will get on the comments and I give it to people quite a bit. But part of it is I don't want a new hunter to come on and be like, gee, if I posted an animal, what is the hunting community mean? So I always want to try to remind people, like, to be kind and to think things through, because there are people watching, you know, and you just never know where it's going to turn. But I'll get on and write to people, and then I'll put a hashtag kindness wins, just kind of as an ending. And I think it is important for everybody to know that, you know, we are a super welcoming community, and you need to be a part of that. And just to remember as hunters, because you go in there, you know, a lot of times I'll even go and see, oh, you have a wife, you have kids, whatever. How would you appreciate someone saying these things to your children? And I'll find their name and use it. And I've had a lot of people actually apologize. Because they don't think of it. They don't think of you as a real person who's, you know, think about how much you sacrifice being out in the field. You want to be with your kids. You want to be doing things with your family. And that's every person working. But, you know, there are real sacrifices too. And I think people just forget you're a real person.
Well, there's sacrifices to.
Good for you. And that's a great, I never thought about it like that, because, like, I have people that troll, and they specifically don't let me see, because I will black out on somebody. Like, I want to know where you at.
I do it real nice.
Let's meet. Let's talk? Let's meet somewhere. And we'll talk about it like grown-ass men.
Yeah.
If you want to say something about my wife, I don't care what you say about me. I'm dumb as a rock. I do not care, but I'm sitting here and you ain't.
Right.
So, but that's cool what she said. And your kids your age, like you, and you're correct. We should all unite, because you're right. It's the same thing as well, you know, the two different parties out there. They're united and we are not as a whole.
Oh yeah,
then,
that's right.
Do you physically look at your stuff? Like,
I will look from time to time. It doesn't have a lot of effect on me. I really stick to the positive part of it, and I do read the comments, because I think it's unfair for somebody to go through an effort to leave a comment, especially the kind ones. I don't react at all to the negative ones. I have, like Tiffany, I have seen something, and it doesn't make me mad. And I do think there's two sides of the coin. We in the hunting industry, I mean, I think we've all, in our own effort and sacrifice to get where we have, become spoiled to a certain aspect. Meaning, we're out there, we can be fussing about a tough day on a Tuesday morning. Like, man, I don't know, you know, I can get on the phone with Lee, like, y'all seeing deer? Like, the weather's hot, and we can start whining. And we're like, bro, it's a Tuesday morning, and we're whining about how bad the hunting is. That's our job. Somebody's putting tar on a roof and freaking got a bull float out there and actually putting shingles on a roof. So we have no reason to do that. And what we've evolved to is definitely we can get blinded to our own desires to know that, well, our desires are not. But I don't think even where Lee's going with, Lee's not even thinking, like, I've laughed. Me and Lee have had conversation. We was at the Super Bowl, and not the Super Bowl, but we was at the Harrisburg show, and I never forget, and I tell this story about Lee a lot. It's sitting there, and they're kicking off. They're playing a game. We're sitting on the couch in a little hotel. We got some wings and stuff. You're there, Tiffany. We're all hanging out and watching the Super Bowl. And Lee's over there. The season's out. Lee's over there like, here we go. I don't know, man. Probably should give him another year. I don't know. I thought he'd blow to 1-8. And I'm like, and finally listen, Lee, it's the freaking Super Bowl. We can't even hunt, but he's so obsessed with deer, right?
Yep.
But that was his passion in life. Yep. So at the same token, I don't think Lee is saying, look, man, if you're not wanting to be what my goal is, I'm fine. If it is a 2.5-year-old, a year and a half, or just shoot a deer, whatever it is, I'm cool with that. But why are you so mad at me? But I think Lee hit it on the head. In so many cases, it's not the people that truly don't care about a 200-inch deer. They are a lot of people that could care less about a mature deer or killing deer. I think we're blind in the hunting industry, think everybody's looking for a 5.5-year-old deer. No, I can tell you what, most of the people who buy our product and watch our shows, they're looking for an opportunity to freaking hunt. They've got kids like us. They got a wife to say and take out the trash. They got a husband that, you know, hadn't took them to Applebee's and Red Lobsters in a while. And they're just like, dude, I just want to spend a Saturday morning hunting, public or private. Hell, I'll go to High Fence if you got one. I'll shoot a hog, pig, ostrich. I'll stomp a rat.
That because we're all different. All of us sitting here. Like when I think about Lee, I know what he does like you spoke to on whitetail. He knows what's happening. I know he's big time elk hunter as well, but also it is absolutely okay if you have 5 days to hunt because of your job, because of your physical limitations, whatever it is. If you go to Texas or wherever you go and you hunt a high fence and it's totally legal and that's all right for you, I don't condemn that
No,
either.
you
Never
refer
would.
to anybody.
No,
I don't
so
think
I'm
I've heard the
saying-
industry do that. I mean, you know,
Right.
yeah,
But I'm saying, I think a lot of people, a lot of it is jealousy. As long as you ain't killing a deer over 140, you don't really got a lot of problem. You start killing big deer, elk,
Yeah.
you know, big elk. You got guys. I got people. I've seen it on there. I can't take it. My guys are like, don't even look. But I'm just simply saying, everybody knows Lee and what these guys do. And I mean, every damn time I look on their page, you're looking at a deer like
Right.
a magnum every time.
And what's important to know about that is the fact that that was their mission and goal in life and
Exactly.
ambition. And so it's the people that kind of want that deer,
Yep.
but they want to slight the reason or the way you went about it.
They don't want to
And-
put in them 7 years.
Well,
that
for
it
instance,
took.
you know, I always love to hunt. Like now, I love to shoot a mature deer. I could really care less. I very rarely even put a tape on a deer. I could care if he's 120, 110, or 200. I mean, obviously, if you get one that's really big, I'm like, man, hey
Yeah,
guys,
that's a big deal.
I might want to tape this one.
But your goal, you're
but
saying, is
I
mature.
just like a fun, the campfire, a mature deer. If I shoot a mature deer, I'm very happy about it. Could care less. 99% of all my racks are piled up around a rhino gun safe. I don't do a lot of taxidermy. I'm just not that guy. However, I've took criticism, like, if you're going to shoot it, have some respect and mount it. Like, dude, that's not it. Where you got Nick Munt, my God, we can kill a fox squirrel in camp along
gonna
with Lee,
mount it.
kill a 200-inch deer. And if Lee wants to, shoot he's trying to figure out how to steal Lee's deer and mount his deer and the squirrel. He just loves taxidermy. I could care
I'm
less.
like you. I just like the bone.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think that is the aggravation part of what I see, whether it's turkey hunting, deer hunting, trophy bucks, elk hunting, to where just respect your evolution of where you're at, and we all change. Look, you'll never hear me condemn anybody for hunting in a high fence. I don't do it. I've been to high fences. I've hunted high fences. I've never televised or tried to sell a grunt call, because if I went, it was not about, I realized I'm hunting livestock. Inevitably, people say, oh, farm deal. Absolutely. Am I farming deer in Georgia on a 550? To a degree, I am. Is Lee doing it? But you're taking care of the wildlife like it is a livestock. However, if that's what you want and you're mad that Lee's killing it, then he's not telling you got to do this. If you ask him how he did it, he'll tell you the whole outline. Tiffany will tell you her sacrifices of, like I said, I'm not lying. We sold water for $1 a piece so we'd have beer money in Indianapolis. I mean, that's not so none of us thought we had the opportunity to do what we're doing here now. And so I'm not mad at anybody and where they're at in it. I'm not mad at anybody if they go crack a 100-inch 8-pointer. Zero. Dude, I might just, that's one thing about being an American and being free. If you just feel it and you want to do it, it's like hunting without the camera, having a good time, on or off. And so I think a lot of times people are just, they don't know how to get somewhere, and maybe they're just frustrated. And the easiest thing to do is hate on the people that achieved it maybe they wanted to. Yeah. But everybody's got a lane, because the guy that says, hey man, I've seen it on our page where maybe they're like, yeah, it must be nice, farm deer. What did that cost you or whatever? Yep. But then you'll see another comment right up under. It's like, congratulations, that's a monster. Look at this one I got last week in Illinois. And it'll be 100 or 90-inch 8-pointer, 2.5-year-old deer. And dude, I'm like, are you kidding me? Freaking great shot. I'm so happy. They're happy. They're happy where they're at, and they're happy for me where I'm at if I'm getting on a good spot or whatever. And so at the end of the day, I don't understand that. I hate the negativity in some of these people, and I'm kind of like, I feel sorry for them. But I also do see the industry from times, this responsibility is on our shoulders, to where we can never get arrogant. We can never all of a sudden think that, well, why would he do that? Because now we have to question, well, why the hell would we do what we did? It's pretty crazy what we do. I mean, my wife still asks me all the time, like, what's on your mind? Like, something's bothering you. And I was like, you don't want to know. Like, you don't want to know. And like, no, you're going to tell me now. And she'll think every time that it's going to be something deep. And I was like, you want to know the truth? Freaking turkey yesterday down there in Alabama, this freaking turkey was gobbling on the south side of this ridge. And he always goes up toward that little east food plot. This son of a bitch went the exact opposite. And she's just looking at me like, are you serious? She's like, how many turkeys have you killed? Obviously not enough. I've not been and seen people hunt enough. And so that helps me realize, am I better than somebody? No. Is my mind wired different than other people in turkey? Yes. Is Lee's mind a freaking carnival and a state fair all of deer season? I've seen Tiffany shake him like, I want to go shopping. I would just want a manicure. I love this hunting, but can we just go do something? I don't care about deer. By the way, have y'all ever got an argument about deer? Like, have you ever had a situation, Tiffany, like, I'm done with the deer. I love them. I hunted them. I've killed them. But Lee, let's just freaking watch the football game. Have you ever done that?
Okay, here's the deal. If I could do that, but I would never even, I've known him long enough, I would never even think to ask him to do that. I'm like, okay, peace out. I'm out for a day or two.
So you'll just find
I'll just go do what I want, but he would never take a day off. Yeah, if I need time off, I would. But it would, I mean, honestly, I'd rather shoot myself than take him shopping with me. I'm like, that would be horrible. I'm like, I don't want anybody to go shopping with me. If I can leave the kids and Lee home shopping, that is awesome. I'm certainly not dragging any of them with.
I've seen this dude in the club. We used to go out.
Oh, yeah, we still go out. We do all that stuff fun, but it's like shopping is not one of those things.
Look at this, Buck. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I can't hear you, man. Freaking Dr. Dre's on, man.
I laugh so hard right now because we had some of the guys from Tacticam over. It was like late season, and every one of them sits around my island, and every one of them was on their phone. And I'm like, we should so do some funny spoof commercial. It's like nobody's talking to each other. They're just all looking at their deer pictures right there. Just
I still thought your Halloween costume was the best.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
He's going to finally pay attention.
Yeah.
Mike, are you running trail cameras a lot now? I saw you had to access.
I am now, yeah.
Yeah. Is that something new? Did you do that in UK?
We don't do it a lot because we've just got so many deer running around, and our focus is different. Like we're trying to hunt for meat. It's subsistence hunting.
That still happens in America. I had a guy the other day as a big trophy hunter, and he's like, "Are there really people that eat deer meat a lot?" I'm like, "Absolutely, dude. Yes, they do." Like that guy right here. I mean, like we eat 3 or 4 deer a year, and I've got friends that trophy hunt. They don't really eat their elk or the deer. They don't, and it's surprising. I make sure they know, like, don't ever tell the public that if you want to, because the heart and soul of Americans is we still hunt deer. Yes, we want a big rack, but you still eat the meat. You're
100%.
excited.
I mean, I butchered five deer day before yesterday, and I just spent the whole day. I got up at 7 a.m, and I skinned, and I butchered, and I cut them into double chops, racks, French trimmed racks, pave steaks off the haunches, shanks, ground, chop buffalo chop.
You make it sound
chili.
good too, dude. I
Realize
even pronounce it.
all that many
I want to eat
parts.
some deer meat after hearing he shakes of the.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't realize. Did you know there was any? I didn't even know there was one of them in a deer. I just thought it
just
was
two
hind
back
quarters
straps.
and
Quarters.
back straps.
Mike makes Ranella look like a rookie.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean?
bad.
Like,
I hate to say that,
he's
but-
probably making eyeball soup. You know,
Yeah.
like look, the eyeballs.
I just,
so
it's
good.
really good fun. Like,
You're talking about the fallow deer. I have to ask.
Yeah.
I seen the muntjac. They ain't got no kind of rack, but
fallow.
like a fallow deer, like there is no. You're not like hunting a trophy fallow deer. You saying you just see it no matter what color it is, and y'all just blowing it down.
No, not really.
Don't lie. That's what you said.
We're trying to get the body weights
in
up
England.
in England. So what we're trying to do when we take on a big piece, so fallow roam, they go 20 miles in a day. So we've got no high fences. It's agricultural land and forestry. So, and we don't feed deer. I don't know anyone who's ever fed a deer in Britain. So you don't need to. It's so fertile. There's agricultural fields everywhere. So the role, it's just a different mindset. The role is, I love seeing big fallow bucks. I love seeing big fallow bucks. I've never shot one, but we're very lucky. One piece of land I have the management of is about 15,000 acres. That's a lot in Britain, right? In southern Britain. It has the single biggest contiguous piece of ancient woodland in southern England in the middle of this. It's 5,000 acres of woodland. And it was planted 1,000 years ago, oak trees, everything, valleys, and it's amazing. And the fallow in there, well, because it's big enough, we keep them all year round. So when we took a real conscious decision to try and improve them for the sake of the genetics of the herd, because most fallow bucks in Britain get killed at 2 or 3, right? If you're selling a fallow buck, if you're selling a fallow deer to we call them game dealers. They buy them like a processor, but they buy them processed and they sell them on.
They're selling them to restaurants.
Yeah, or the part, whatever. Yeah, restaurants into the wholesale market, export a lot to Germany and France. So most people will just shoot a bigger one because you get more per pound or kilo than that. So we said, no, we're not going to do that. So we've now got some of the biggest fallow bucks. You're talking about lovely Neil Davis is one of my best mates. He shot a nearly world record muntjac with us last year in Britain. And
That's all he does is
and a
travel.
big
Man, he does.
I thought of having a TV show was the way to do it. Hell no. I need to be a marketing
Sucker's
director.
got to have 7
Yeah.
million Delta
Yeah,
points
man.
right now.
Yeah, he flies his kids all over. Every time I see him, he's got the dude with the horn.
He's
and
awesome.
they go hunting, shooting all the pigs. And stuff
he's a
like
great
that.
shot too.
Oh
He knows
yeah.
how to-
You know, I mean, he's a born South African.
He's amazing. Yeah.
and he's been through scout sniper training. I think
He's
a couple of
he's
times.
a shot.
And his boys have been to my place and helped us.
I seen Neil cold, stone cold. And everybody remember this ranch
Yeah.
in Texas, Cibolo Creek. That was the actual ranch that the Supreme Court Justice Scalia passed away on. He was quail hunting
Oh,
on that
okay.
ranch, and it's full of free range Neil guy, and all dad, all kinds of stuff. So Neil, I seen Neil, cow kill all dad at 550 yards, one shot.
He's an awesome
I
shot.
gave
Yeah.
him the dope, bam. He smoked it.
We're going to stop for a quick break, but please don't go anywhere. We got so much to come.
A wingman flies close with unwavering dedication. At Folds of Honor, a wingman stands with families of America's fallen or disabled heroes. The burial flag given to their grieving family is folded 13 times. As a wingman, your $13 monthly donation provides scholarships to their spouses and children. 13 folds, $13. Become a wingman. Join today at foldsofhonor.org. With your rifle attached by our patented Spartan Magnaswitch system, rise up from behind the sagegrass, silently, quickly, stable, and ready to fire. The Spartan Springbok bipod and tripod deliver button-free instant position changes, always ready to provide a stable shooting platform. Find us at javelinbipod.com to see the system in action and purchase fulfilled direct to you from our Texas warehouse.
Do you get some other subjects right quick? Because I know we're all going to be pushed for time, but how do y'all feel about baiting overall? Baiting for whitetail?
That's interesting. I'd like to hear what Big Buck over
Well,
here
it's
got to
a
say.
very debatable, and there's a lot of opinions on it. But overall, how do y'all feel about it?
Well, for me personally, I guess it depends on where you live. Because, like I said, as long as somebody's hunting, I really don't care. There's places that you bait and stuff, but we just don't. Even when you could in Kansas, I'd assume put out, fields and plant stuff. And the way I kind of look at it now is I like Iowa has it right now for what I like, that you can in the off season, but I don't call it baiting. That's a way that I can get the protein and health and stuff and try to keep our deer alive. We have so many of them dying of VHD, and some way I can keep them healthy and stuff. It's just like that I can get supplemental feed them that way, try to keep them as healthy as I can. And then but in hunting season, I don't want it that way. I don't want any baiting, because I don't do it to bait. I do it to try to keep them as healthy as I can, and all that. But I just look at the way that how much hunting has improved, like how much advantage that we have now compared to when I started, 30 years ago. When we first started, look how far bows have come, broadheads, rangefinders. We had no rangefinders, we had none of that stuff. We got all these advantages that we have over the last 30 years. But what do the animals have? They've had nothing. So I'm just like, no, I don't want that. I don't want an advantage. I want the person that does the most work, that understands their property, does the most work, maybe timber improvement or fields and stuff like that. Somebody did the most work to be rewarded for that work. And I think a lot of times when you'll hear it from other buddies of mine, like in Ohio and stuff like that they do all this stuff, and then a neighborhood has just a cow pasture, and they go take a dump truck and dump corn out there, and then they shoot as big as deer, and it's like, well, that person didn't. I mean, that's fine, and I think it's legal, and I'm not saying against it, but
he
that
ain't
guy
like
didn't
it.
do the work.
Yeah.
He didn't do the work for it, and so I just feel you should be rewarded for the work you do, and I just don't like I said, we've had all the advantages over the last 30 years. They've had
Yeah.
none. I want it to be as hard as possible.
Right.
I mean, that's what people
I
don't
guess the
understand. I want it to be as
debate-
challenging as I can get.
I guess the debate with that would be somebody listening like, well, that's easy to say. We got $200,000 worth of tractor sitting in here. We're planting the best of the cab seed. We're planting Roundup Ready corn. We're planting beans, forage beans.
Yep.
So define bait. So I think on the opposite side of that, you have to look into consideration who does the most work. Well, obviously you got to have the equipment and the money to do the timber work. Because I know in the South,
We moved there, I didn't have a nickel. I didn't have a nickel, and we just did what we could. And I said, we did the first things with a lawnmower and hand seeding stuff. I mean, we just grew from there.
Your ground, corn and beans, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So the feed's there. But I think what Mike's saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like I grew up, man, you planting food plots. My dad had a little Dexter tractor. We did everything from the Little League baseball field with it. We had a scrape blade and had a plow and had a little funnel spreader and fertilizer. Baiting was not legal in Georgia. And so we'd plant oats, wheat, clover. We never could get clover to grow because farmers didn't realize we need calcium in the soil. But I remember even then, like passing the plate around to put in like 3 acres or 4 acres of wheat. Like my dad, like, all right, boy, $150, throw in the pot. We got to buy fertilizer. I'm like, I ain't got $150. Like, well, hell, I ain't the only one paying for this. Scott Steiner, you gonna be hunting with us? $150. We're trying to raise $400 or $500.
Yep.
And so the point is, too, it's like, is it bait? Yes, bait. It wasn't naturally there. I put it there. I grew it. So I think that where is it that you draw the line of if you can afford to put the work in? Because the same guy could have said, like you said, you started with a tractor. Well, there's a guy right beside you at that point that probably did have the hundreds of thousands of dollars of tractor. And then he's like, he coming here in a lawnmower. Where do you end
that, though? Because you can say, well, now you can't hunt by an oak tree because there's acorns in it. They're
That's
eating.
correct.
So it's not that. It's just like, wait, everyone goes fishing. You put something on your hook. You bait something. So
Yes.
you're gonna hunt animals where they feed, basically, or breed. That's the only two options, really.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the food. But like in Iowa, it's agriculture. There's agriculture everywhere. So what can I do different or better? Not a lot different. Yeah. I mean, I can't do a lot different than my neighbor does. They may harvest it in October, and I may harvest mine in January when the season's over and hold them all there.
But what's the difference between killing a deer at your farm with a ladder stand or a clip-on, or now everybody's saddle crazy? I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't want to see a damn saddle.
Sorry, what's the saddle?
The saddle is.
Let Mike explain.
They're ever popular, from the standpoint of you don't have to have a lot of equipment to get up in a tree. You can have little small speed steps or screw-in steps.
It's basically like a thing goes through, it's like a little seat and you just hang with a rope.
Like a harness.
Like a swing.
Like a commando
You'll see them hunting Mexico
with
down
a
in
big carabiner.
Basically, yes, like a rock climbing.
Have y'all used those?
No. Well, our cameramen do. Like, and it worked good this year.
I could see where that would be great, but not for me.
No, I tell you when
I
used them way before they were cool. Like in about 88, 89, they Sherry and the crew in Georgia, they actually started in Georgia. The tree, I think it was called the tree saddle at the time.
Oh, I remember
green.
that. Yeah, I remember
Sherry
that.
green, and they had it. And to be honest, you know why we used it? It was a high hunting pressure like club, and every time you'd go hang a stand or put up a good ladder, I mean, the other members would come poaching. You'd come up there and there'd be sneaker wrappers and dead gum cans. They've been hunting. They ain't put no work in. So we started screwing in our tree steps, and then we'd use a saddle. Just not because I wanted. I never was huge in enjoying the hunting out of them, but it was like at least there's no stand up there for nobody to hunt.
Right.
And you could walk in like on public ground and stuff. I could see where they'd be really handy because you could just walk in. But I'm not craving just to say, look at me, I got a picture of me shooting one out of a saddle.
That's a big thing right now.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people talking about the baiting and where you was going. I think a lot of people think that people that actually bait is the people that create the problem for CWD and all these things, and like how disease in animals. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, and I don't think that's held to be true.
Neither do I.
I don't, because if that's the case, New just said it, and the same whether it's a cornfield, up at Lee's, and where you do have certain amount of corn that's a lot, or where you mowed it and there's a lot. I mean, the deer are constantly in interaction with each other and licking branch. I mean, that's how they communicate.
That's the whole thing. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Like we live around deer. I mean, they're in our yard all the time. Every tree will have a scrape on. Every doe, every buck, every fawn goes and licks that same branch. 365 days a year. It's not. It's like if you think that by putting a feeder out or something that they're going to get more. They're licking those branches. They're licking each other every day. It's like that's a farce. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. That's somebody that doesn't know.
No, a lot of people
Making those
bring that up
decisions, like you
all
said
the
there.
time. You hear that all the time. You see that on social media. That a guy's got a feeder out, or a guy dumps a bag of corn out on the ground, or whatever it is, and instantly you see people pile on and say, "That's how that disease is getting started."
Yeah. Well,
You know?
another thing. Here's what it gets to, and this drives me mad. It gets to the negative social media said, "Must be nice. You're doing it the easy way." In the true reality, I don't care if it is somebody that puts out bait, puts in a green field. It's Lee and Tiffany. It's Melissa. I know y'all farm and have a lot of setups. You know, whether it's in the UK or your place in Texas, me in Georgia. What I would say, in most cases, anything that possibly starts easy progresses you to get to the place where hard. You know, I always say people are quick to throw hate, but I don't think Chipper Jones started hitting Nolan Ryan. He started off a tee.
Mm-hmm.
So many cases, like I would never condemn, a family who's got 10 or 15 acres, and maybe it butts up to the best property in the world, and like, man, I ain't seeing no deer. I love the right. I'll be honest, I don't have a problem at all with baiting. I'd love to say, you know what, take your young boy, mom, maybe you lost your husband, maybe he lost your dad, could have been death, could have been divorce. Get you a 50-pound bag of corn and spread it out there. There's a good chance. I would say predominantly around here, you're going to have a northwest wind. Set you up a little $150 blind. Chance of you seeing deer. And you know what? Just remind you, it's got to have 4 points on one side. And I've had this conversation that butts up right up to my farm. And they're like, well, what's a big deer? Like, man, make sure he's got 4 points on one side. Shoot anything you want. Because every time it progresses to one day, they're probably going to hit the fastball. Now, I also will say, define easy. It wasn't easy what they put together. I tell people all the time, I got a little over 500 acres in Georgia, and I'm over there by Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Jordan, Danny Amos on Aflac, and I was lucky enough to buy a little piece of dirt. Well, 500 acres, I never thought I'd ever own 500 acres in Georgia, never. But I got turkeys and I got deer, but I got all these mature deer around me. Of course, same thing, I can shoot. Yeah. The biggest deer we've ever killed is 152, which I still think is a big buck. All right, and Waylon shot that this year. Well, quickly I had all these comments. Must be nice, farm deer, this and that. Same comment. Yeah. And I thought, let me tell you something, buddy. It's easy. And I said, look, the hardest thing I ever did was this deer. It wasn't the fact the deer was easy to kill, but if you'd have told a broke redneck from Georgia that I could ever have bought 500 acres in Georgia, it's the hardest thing I could ever done. The easiest thing I could have let myself stick to was growing up like I did, hunting turkey and deer on a lot of public ground. I still like it, still respect it, but I remember sitting on public ground hunting turkeys, and it's hard. Y'all hunting turkeys in Georgia and Alabama. Sure. They're aggravating suckers. And I remember thinking, man, one day I hope I got me some land that I can afford that maybe just me and my kids or my friends could hunt. So my point is, define what's easy. It's the hardest thing I ever did. Mm-hmm. I still don't own the land. I'm still making a freaking monthly payment. I write a check and I say, hey, baby, we got another month. Well, I got to pay this power bill if we're going to have lights, And so at the end of the day, what is easy? And I think in the same token, I know people that ain't got a pot to piss in, that literally going through hard times, that are literally got family members on drugs. It ain't easy to them for have time just to go put out a pile of bait and to have even a morning or an evening on a weekend to go hunting, period. So I just think we got to stay out of our own social constructs and just focus on what we love. And this is what we love. If you like what we do, I can tell you how I got here. And then understand that everybody ain't all in our same place. We're not all in the same evolution of where we at hunting. Fact. And just be happy for each other. Now, are they people that do things completely horrendous and illegal and completely ungrateful and abuse the wildlife? Yes, they deserve all the ridicule they get. But I just know a lot of good people that do things a lot different. For instance, I'm obsessed with turkeys. I got people that like, what's your obsession?
And
what's your obsession with munkjack? It's like, I like it. What might be your
I don't care if I ever see a turkey the rest of my life.
Man, I love it. I love it.
It's a waste of time.
You talking about hunting turkeys?
Yeah, I just don't like it, Mike.
More for the rest of us.
If somebody in here makes a 4 gauge that's good to 250 yards with a red dot, I'll take it. I hate them, Mike. I mean, I kill them every year, but I hate them. I just don't like them.
Have you ever hunted a turkey in the South or went turkey hunting in the South?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
That's why I hate them.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, that was, and I think
I got a couple of times. I'm gonna set 2 or 3 hours, and that's it.
Right.
Maybe maybe I need to hunt with a world champion turkey caller, but I hunt with a Caddo Indian that can make one come and run right over the top of you. But it just ain't my thing.
Right.
But neither is waterfowl.
Yeah,
I've just never been a
duck hunting. Never
waterfowl.
turned my crank.
Yeah, me too.
I like the dogs.
Yeah. And goose hunting, I watch all the videos, make it rain. You see them coming in, you can't even see the sky.
Yeah.
And then you go hunt with a guy, see 2 geese the whole
Right.
trip. And you got all that work, but I don't know, man. Like I've been branded from the jump because I said my first episode, I'm going to put out so much corn in Mexico that these are the animals that I can hunt.
Yeah.
Here comes a javelina. My plan is to let him get up on top of the corn pile.
Right.
So he's high centered, and I'm gonna shoot him right off the top of the corn pile. And that's how I started my career.
Right.
I hunted with people that hid corn behind logs and put brown bait behind trees.
Yeah, I never would do
and-
that.
and
I never
stuff
tried to
like
hide.
that. No, I've been straight my
Yeah.
whole time. That's what I do.
Yeah.
A high percentage opportunity. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what it is.
I mean, and we're legal.
And I'm being
Who
honest
cares?
about it.
No. Well, here's the thing: whether people disagree or like baiting or not, that one of the number one products in our hunting industry, oh, you think it's going to be bows, it's going to be arrows, it could be rifles. No, it's hunting attractant. It's corn.
Y'all-
It's Big and J.
y'all
That is
got
the
it.
number one seller. And guess where they sell it? In every state, even the states that's illegal. You want to
Right.
go? You can go buy Big and J in whatever Big Time in Montana. You can't even put trail cameras
See,
up
Right.
there.
So in a way, you're admitting that that's your fault.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm
That's
telling you right now, Baptists drink beer, Muslims still eat pork chops, and I'm telling you, people in bait states still sometimes, where it ain't legal, they still do. You can still, I mean, think about this. Where do they legalize marijuana? A lot of states. It ain't legal in Georgia, but I still know a lot of dope heads. I still know a lot of pot heads. So my point is, where legal and where you can do things. But what I don't understand, the biggest narcissist way I think anybody can go, whether it's anybody, is to say, my way is the only way.
Yeah.
It's like, what's next? They're going to start painting your house? The guy who wants to date a fat girl can't go do it? Like, no, you can't. No,
Man, he had to take it there, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying,
How do we
where
get from
where do you
dating
draw
to
the
fat
freaking
girls
line?
and dating?
Yeah, where do you draw the line? It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? You can't have, there's a rule that passed in the state of Georgia, you can't have blue comforters on any king-size bed.
Yeah.
Because why? Well, you heard Sir Lord Huntmaster had said that he does not like blue comforters. That's my best English accent.
Good work. Yeah, no,
Thank you,
strong,
sir. Thank you,
strong.
sir. It was
He's
was it
laughing.
more Scottish? Was it more Scottish? I don't know.
It was just,
laughing
it was
at
just
you.
dreadful.
I should have had you say that for me.
I want to say something though that's really, because it's really great for me as an outsider listening to this. I want to say just what an amazing place America is for hunting. Right?
Amen.
Praise
to
the
that.
Lord. Praise
Because
the Lord.
as someone from outside, where there isn't an acre of public land available, where getting access to a firearm is nigh on impossible, all right, and then permission to use it is incredibly difficult. The fact that you guys can go to private, high fence, low fence, whatever,
Yep.
there is millions of acres of public land available by law, and wise
sir.
people in the past have made that happen. And the fact that you can go there, whether you draw a tag over the counter, whatever, and you can go and hunt it, and you can get a firearm, and you have this choice, and you have this ability to go and do it, is extraordinary. You talk about making it hard. It was so hard for me to get into what I've done in England. Wanting as a chef in a restaurant, completely broke because I'd hemorrhaged myself with a mortgage to buy a pub in the countryside. I wanted to serve food. I had no idea how to get deer. I didn't know anyone who hunted or to do it because it's kind of shadowy, No one really wants to tell anyone. And I did it, but I found a butcher who taught me how to, said, okay, I'll take you out. And he's my mentor. He's an amazing man. Taught me how to shoot and taught me how to gut, butcher, all these things, how to look after carcasses. But I started off with, I managed to find a farmer who let me have 100 acres to shoot a roe deer or two on, and then this and then that, and it grew and grew and grew. But I get the same shit that you're talking about in Britain relentlessly. People say, you've got thousands of acres, I hate you, you've got all this land. We manage about 50,000 acres of private land. It has taken me 30 years to do it. And constant relationships with landowners, not just financial. What do they want out of it? What do the forestry want out of it? What are the government grants to do this, that? Oh. And then I've never made a penny out of venison in Britain. It's everything we roll back in, but it's critical, it's crucial. So I come here and it blows my mind. I've been welcomed. I'm on a working visa. Hopefully I'll get permanent residency, maybe dual citizenship one day if I'm very, very blessed. And I would love that. But I came here, I went through the process. People were welcoming. People said, I'd love you to hunt on our land. I'd love you to do this. Amazing kindness. And I adore the United States for that. And I want to say, I listen to this and I think you're so lucky. I cannot tell you.
You know, and that's so cool that you're here, Mike, because once again, we do get spoiled. I'm spoiled in this hunting industry. All of my best friends and best hunting mentors, we're spoiled. We get up every day. For Outdoor Channel, we produce, I would say, if you look at it as assets, which sounds kind of in one way cheesy, but I know we do 20 original shows for Bone Collector. We do 6 or 7 more for turkey. We got some other different things we produce. So if you look at it, my job is to go grab those assets. So obviously, getting back to ever hunt without a camera, I do. But at the end of the day, how blessed are we?
Yeah.
But then we sit and get caught up on how big is he? How old is he? Is it baiting? Here's what's beautiful. None of us are badass because we hunt. It's badass we can hunt. And they're not having this conversation in China. No. They don't really have it in Turkmenistan outside of some guy in sandals that can run up and down, and we will have the money to go.
I don't think there's actually a country called Turkmenistan, but I just want to be clear on that.
No, there is.
There is a country called Turkmenistan.
Turkmenistan, yeah.
There is.
And they don't even have turkeys in it either.
I remember we was doing
it's right by
something-
Afghanistan.
We was doing something for the network. I don't remember what it was, but when we was over here and we was talking about it, you was talking about Shocky's probably in. I think that's the place you said he was probably
Dude, he's probably in.
Well, you reckon
he
they
hunts
look-
all those standy countries.
Yeah.
He don't do it anymore. I'm telling you, I repeat this, and Shocky might hear. He's eating crustaceans. He don't call them shrimp. He calls them crustaceans.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when you know you've made it in life.
That's when you know you
When you can't even say,
too
man,
small.
give me some of them fried shrimp. I'll take the shrimp, make them broiled, not fried, the crustaceans. The pawns. I mean, pawns is a pretty big word. I've never ordered a pawn. Ain't that a shrimp too?
Prawn.
Prawn. With an R.
Prawn.
Prawn.
That's
I've never eaten a shrimp until 7 months ago.
No way.
I don't eat prawns.
Have you eaten any chitlins yet? Like, have you been toward the communities in the South? Like,
No, I'm waiting for an invite.
Well, I don't eat them, but man,
Right.
all of my black friends love chitlins.
Love
them.
I'm obsessed
Love
with
'em.
shrimp. My big
I do
thing
like shrimp.
now is
Melissa, have you ever ate chitlins?
No, I have not.
I didn't eat them many
wondering.
times. I was real hungry.
Collard greens?
Yeah. Oh God, collard greens.
You like collard greens?
That's death row meal for me. Collard greens and fried chicken.
Wait,
That's death row
Melissa, do you know
meal.
what a chitlin is?
No,
I don't either.
Chitlins is
think we're too far
intestines.
north.
it's like
There you go.
it's offal of some
Look,
sort.
y'all
chopped up
know,
and
y'all
fried.
ate some chitlins. Yeah,
Look.
this is good as first live podcast we did. They know about some chitlins.
A U.S. Army
Yeah,
veteran.
I love
right
it. You dang
He
right.
knows the
Vietnam too. That's what I'm
My
talking
man.
about. I got you. Right on. Man, this is awesome. But you're right. And thank you, Mike, for bringing that up. Because that is one situation I think so many of Americans, we fail to recognize our freedoms. We fail to recognize that we can have debates. We can sit here and over in the UK right now, there's certain things you can say or tweet and go to jail for it.
It's extraordinary what's happening. And
You look at the immigration problem y'all had, it's changed y'all's whole landscape.
well, I'm more concerned. I think that's going to change.
Yeah.
I think that there will be a new government soon that will change. There is a huge groundswell, but what I'm shocked and horrified about is the impingement of free speech. And
Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
I've grown up. The most common thing as a kid you'd say is it's a free country. It was a line we used to say.
Yes.
And Britain was like the champion of free speech around the world. It was like, Great Britain. And yeah, people I am deeply upset about it.
Now tell me this. Obviously, you worked so hard to come here, do it the right way, work visa, looking for citizenship or dual citizenship. And I know the way you do because I've seen your businesses. I do want to go back and visit the UK and go to tour some of that stuff. I am a big fan of Downton Abbey. But at the end of the day, does it scare you now that you're settling in, investing your money into America, investing, getting citizenship? How scary is it to see some of the same mistakes that you saw that was happening there here? Are you seeing any of that?
No, certainly not in Texas.
Right, I agree. Texas is its own country. Like if you get out of the country of Texas, what are you seeing?
You know what? We first visited Texas about 1.5 years ago, and 2 years ago, and we were made so welcome. And this little town, Fredericksburg in Texas.
Oh, it's amazing.
And the countryside around. All I saw driving around were deer, and I can't live without deer. So
Yeah.
I don't have to. For me, they don't know. I'm a hunter gatherer. Me, that's my thing.
Yeah.
And so, and that really defines what I am. I'm a hunter gatherer. I just want to hunt and consume wild food, and if I can do it in a commercial.
So you
sense,
don't consider yourself a trophy hunter? You're a hunter gatherer.
No, I've really shot very few. I was very blessed to be a guest of the lovely our friends at Hornady, and they took me to shoot an elk last year for the show. And I went to Utah and I shot a really massively huge bull elk.
That's a nice
I'm
place.
gonna tell you, I really enjoyed it. It was
Lee and I,
amazing.
Tiffany, that's an amazing
where we're
place.
talking
Oh,
about.
that's such a fun
And
place.
it's arriving this week in a box. And it was, I don't really know measurements, but it was like 350 inches or something.
That's
good
a
one
big
there.
bull
That's a
there.
big
That's
one
a
there,
And
yeah.
it was 7x6. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a big bull.
And
Nice
he was a
bull.
cranky old bull. We looked at about 40 over 5 days. And here's me the first day out on this hillside going and hearing all this
Yeah,
whistling
all
and
the
stuff.
bugling. Yeah.
And the aspens are turning color. It was one of the prettiest places I've ever been in my life. I had the best guide I've ever had, a guy called Mort. Right?
Mort.
Yeah.
Mort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mort's
he's a
good.
good one.
Yeah.
I loved Mort. What a dude that guy is. Awesome on TV, by the way.
Mhm.
Just looks the part, beard,
Yeah.
legend. Knew his stuff. And I'm not used to being guided. I hunt on foot in Britain all day, every day, 10 to 15 miles a day, no blinds, just walking and stalking. We don't call it hunting in England. We call it stalking.
Nice.
Hunting is what you do on the back of a horse after a fox.
It's not fishing, it's angling.
Yeah. So we're stalking deer. So this was stalking in Utah. And first day I'm on this hillside and this thing walks out.
I know.
And I'm like, that one? And he was like, no, we can do better than that. I was like, how could you do better than that?
So is a skosh bigger than a muntjac?
Yeah, a little bit.
Dude,
a little
and
bigger.
you know, talking about pig, you was talking about turkeys. For me, my dream had always been go out west and chase bugling elk, and turkeys were like the poor man's elk.
Mhm.
I love that, like the trickery and trying to manipulate them. And of course, I did have a chance. I remember we did the road trip hunt. We all went out to Iowa
Yeah.
to the Kiskies,
Mhm.
and dude, I was just, some of the first times hunting out in the Midwest for the same species. Eastern's like, man, these turkeys are so much more fun and easy. I loved it, but I noticed a lot of people out there didn't care much about the turkey because it's like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, we can go
So
kill
have
one
you-
tomorrow. Like,
Have you killed
I know,
like
yeah.
all of them everywhere? Like all
I've
the
never-
species?
I've never killed a gould. I've killed all the rest, even the oh my God, what do you call it?
Oscillated.
Oscillated. I got
Oh, you got
oscillated.
the
I went down to
oscillated?
I did.
Is that like Yucatan or
That's
something
in
like
the
that?
Yucatan Peninsula, and
Yeah.
that was more just
It's
little
different
little
combo,
adventure. I didn't
It's
really
like being in
yeah.
a resort
Yeah, I
shooting a peacock.
Well, this was
Kinda sort.
this was a
And that's a way
well
it is.
actually it was exact opposite. You're in the middle of the jungle and these little thatch, like it was almost real rustic, like you felt Indiana Jones, all these what do you call those, the pyramids.
Yeah.
And I was shocked, if you look at all the Montsalon, not Montsalon, but all those Lord, I'm completely drawing a blank, but the Mayan
Mayan.
Yeah, the
civilization.
Mayan ruins.
They
and
got
stuff.
all those statues and pyramids you can go see, like all the touristy spots. But we got to hunt through that jungle. There's those pyramids all in those
Everywhere.
jungles everywhere that hadn't been excavated. Like we was climbing up this mountain, it hit me. I'm like, wait a minute, it's all flat. And I got to looking, and we was going up a pyramid, like it was an old pyramid. And I was talking to I didn't know Spanish, he didn't know English, but I was able to figure out, like, Mayan. Oh, see, and I'm like, no way. I'm thinking,
Pretty
and he
cool,
was
man.
basically let us know there's
Yeah, I
lots of
wondered.
them.
I figured if anybody had killed all the turkeys, you had got them all.
Oddly enough, I've guided several times for the Goulds and seen
Where are they?
the Goulds are down. There's some actually now in America. I think Arizona's got a few tags in the Goulds, but mostly down in Mexico, like
Okay.
down around that Montsalon, Hermosillo area.
Okay.
That's where the Goulds are in the Sierra Madres.
Yep.
And then obviously you got your Easterns, like where you live in Texas or Rios. And so it's
Yeah.
like I said, for me, like we went through the process in Georgia where I'd say in the 80s, it got to where we didn't really have any mature deer. I'd gotten to the point I was kind of somewhat bored with the 30-06 shooting another 6-pointer, in a permanent stand. And turkey hunting was something that was really hard. Like we didn't have a lot of them, but man, most of the time I'd go back scratching my head like, man, why can't I even see one of these turkeys? I hear them gobbling, they shut up. And so finally got to the point where I finally tricked one. It was like an elusive ghost that come out. I didn't realize parts of the country, there was lots of them. Like you go to Texas where you're at, I mean, you'd see, I remember I went to Texas and there was like literally 100 turkeys gobbling. I'm like, man, if I went to heaven, if I died, I think I might have died.
I got my little 50 acres on top of a hill in Texas. I'll wake up in the morning and 40 of them will walk through like that, just like in the spring. I mean, I don't see them at this time of year, but in the spring they'll go, whoa, and they'll walk through, and they'll look at the dogs, and the dogs will look at them, and they're kind of dogs are like, I've never seen a pheasant that big. You know?
Oh yeah. I remember this funny story. Remember we used to go down to Country Goes Hunting every year,
Oh, yeah.
and we would always take some of the people from Outdoor Channel and a guy named Sam Clement is a friend of ours, and we had an idea that let's get a bunch of country music singers and get some people from the Outdoor Channel. We'd all go down, and we would just like basically have a big camp. I mean, from Rascal Flats to Blake Shelton, to name drop, Montgomery Gentry. I mean, Jamie Johnson, all these great country singers would come down, and we would just take them turkey hunting. And then we'd always do a little concert at the end of maybe the trip, and we'd raise money for different things. We did it for tornado victims in Alabama, all kind of different things. Anyway, Lee and Tiffany were always good turkey hunters, but mostly they hunted Kansas and Iowa. And I remember Lee come over and said, these Alabama turkeys, they're really assholes, aren't they? And I said, yeah, they're really, they're really assholes.
You hear like one gobble. Like, like I never grew up turkey hunting because we didn't have them in Minnesota when I was a kid. So it's not like I said, it's not like it's not like you guys grew up and that was like deer hunting was, you know, a heritage to all of us.
Yeah.
Growing up in Minnesota, but turkeys weren't there until now. There's a ton. But so you didn't have that in you. But so like when we first started hunting turkeys at our Kansas place and else, there was always a lot of them. We go down there and it was like, Michael's there. Why are we turkey hunting here? Is there even turkeys here? You'd hear like one gobble, like off like 2 miles. You're like, oh, there's one.
I remember too.
You should be hearing like 100 of
there
them.
was it was one funny story was, of course, I said, yes, they are jerks, you know, but there was one particular hunt. I think I was taking, now they call them just low cash. It was low cash cowboys at the time, pressing the guys. Y'all was hunting with them. And you said, these turkeys are jerks. And he said, we're not really hearing. You said, we're not really hearing any. And I said, if y'all heard any? He said, yeah, we heard 2 or 3 this morning. I said, where did you hear 2 or 3? And they said, I don't know the property. I said, dude, you mind if I go over there? And he said, sure. And we went over there, and I was like, sure enough, there was 2 or 3 turkeys gobbling.
Yeah, we shot one. They came on, never even gobbled. I remember
never said a word.
Yeah, they just walked down. Holy crap! And whoever it was we were hunting with, I can't remember, but shot one. I was like, well, geez, we never even heard them gobble.
But you know, I don't know if anybody in the live audience, you know, if you're hearing 2 or 3 turkeys in the South, you're like, you don't tell nobody. You don't even tell your wife, like, how many did you hear? Like, man, I'll be honest, I don't think we got no turkeys. If you heard 3 turkeys gobbling hard, 3.
It was a lot.
Man,
and you know, I remember that hunt because the guy that we were hunting on his place, he's like, we have one. We're like, how many? What are we looking at here? He's like, we have 1 turkey. I'm like, you have like 500 acres. You have 1 turkey we're trying to focus on right now? He's like, yep,
and
but it's a good one. And
let me tell you about that turkey.
Be kidding
that
me.
1 turkey has judged the great American redneck Yelp off his whole life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's got Yelp scars on him. Yeah.
But I was like, we're hunting 1 turkey? I'm like, I've never heard that we're targeting 1 turkey.
It was the exact opposite, though. I remember when we went to the Kiskies and we all did that hunt. It was more not even about, I think it was the girls against the guys.
It was.
Remember?
Yeah.
But I remember we get out of the truck and Don drops us off and there's like 25 eastern turkeys gobbling. We're up in Iowa, and I'm like, oh, I still get chills. Like, thank you, Jesus. This is amazing. I cannot believe it. There's 25 turkeys gobbling. But then you go home and you're like back to 1 or 2.
What do you think the reason for that is? Like just the numbers or just pressure?
I think a lot of it.
A lot of bad callers.
Well,
I could be one of those that caused that problem.
No, I think that, like you said, down south, there was it's so ingrained to all of them. So many people did it, and there were, like, even in Iowa and Minnesota, there were no turkeys. So there wasn't like a big, deep heritage of it. And all of a sudden, when they took off, there just weren't. People never had a history of, like, you know, their whole life they never turkey hunted before. So it wasn't like deer hunting. It's like you go to Wisconsin and it's like a national holiday for that. You know, schools closed and everything for opening. The opening week of deer season and stuff. And that's the way turkeys are down south. I mean, it's like a big deal when that opens. But like for us, we never had them. So when they started getting them, it was still not really. People's like, I don't know. I don't really know much about turkeys. You know, so I think there just got to be a lot of them with not a lot of people hunting.
Yeah, but you adapted. You become a good turkey hunter. Matter of fact, Lee, Lee's a very technical mind, obviously. So he's literally looked like Thomas Edison over there, like with a scroll, like he's trying to figure this out. Like, I am not going to let these turkeys beat me.
Yeah.
And we did. We scratched one
Yeah,
out the next
we
morning,
did.
actually, yeah. We're just getting started. Hold on. We got a little bit more coming after this.
Spandau Arms was founded with a simple idea. The best part of hunting isn't the gear, it's the memories. From the first rooster rise of the season in the tall grass to the last second opportunity on the target buck as sunset closes in. Spandau believes firearms should be built to perform, priced to be accessible, and designed to become an essential piece of your hunting story. Their lineup includes field-ready shotguns and precision-driven rifles built for hunters, competitors, and recreational shooters who know that quality and dependability matter more than the hype. Born from the experience of American hunters and crafted by generations of gunmakers, each Spandau firearm is built for real-world performance in the moments that matter.
Every now and then you get lucky and just suck as a caller, and you'll have one come straight in. But I also had ground that I outfitted in Kansas, and I had 100 birds on a wheat field.
Yeah.
I had decoys out. I had everything. I had $500 worth of calls. I could not make one of them damn.
Oh, man, I know.
I'm like, I hate their guts. I emptied the quiver on them.
It's like fishing. You know, like my son Mason went to college on a bass fishing scholarship, and I've been very fortunate to fish with some of these unbelievable bass pros. And I love to fish, but it was mostly casting off the bank or maybe a John boat. And I fished, man. I don't know, man. I don't even know when people quit eating bass because I grew up eating bass. I got stringers, me and my papa holding up a stringer of bass and be some pretty good slabs on there, and you know that become part of. But I'm sitting there fishing. I fished with Hank Parker one day, and I'm thinking I'm all right, and I'm fishing, and he is just reeling in bass.
He's wearing you
all
out.
day, and I'm over there like, what's happening? And I'm like, you know, but it's the same. You know, you go ride dirt bikes. I love motocross. Like, you'll think you're riding pretty fast, and all of a sudden a Jeff Stanton, or you'll get a chance to go ride with Eli Tomac or Ricky Carmichael, and you're like, all right, I suck, you know. Or play a guitar. You know, you'll be picking a guitar, and you're like, I'm getting good, dude. I can freaking rip some Stevie Ray Vaughan licks, and then you go to Nashville. And
everyone can do that. Guy pumping gas can do that.
Yeah, exactly. That dude just ripping, playing behind his back like Jimi Hendrix. White Jimi Hendrix. It's crazy. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, right now, I know we're getting to the end. Everybody's got a lot going on. And but kind of in closing, where are y'all at? Like, obviously, if you think about it, you know, Pig, you, Melissa, Mike, we've all had these, you know, even though you're new in the United States and you're kind of beginning this whole adventure of television on Outdoor Channel, obviously your show's rated great. Lee and Tiffany, it's hard to believe we were kids coming here, like literally kids. Which again, I'll get back to that before, you know, I turn it over to y'all and kind of give the audience where y'all are at and where this adventure is, the blessings, all the stuff, the hard work. But it goes back to what you're saying is every one of us, even Pig. I remember Pig. First time I saw him, I didn't know if he was a homeless man or if he was working in the hunting industry.
I still don't.
But he was trying to literally he was trying to make it. He was over there talking shit, having such a good time, and he's not changed an ounce, having a good time. And I remember Pig like, man, this is what I want to do. I think I'm going to give this a shot, and I'm going to give it my all. Melissa's the same. Again, I tell the story. I remember seeing her. She was a young lady, classy, fun, cool, liked her immediately, but I just shake her hand. I honestly, it's God honest truth, first time I shook a woman's hand, or felt like shaking my dad's from the calluses. Like, this freaking woman right now, man, I ain't playing with this woman. She's beautiful, but she will probably whoop me if I get on her bad side. So anyway, at the end of the day, all the hard work, where we at? I would say life has changed. We're older. We're not looking for some crazy party. We're not selling $1 to go to the club to go have beer money. We got families. We obviously all God-fearing men and women. And at the end of the day, where are y'all at? And I'll start down there with you, Lee, and I'd like to come all the way around even to you, Mike, and just so people kind of understand where you're at in life and what hunting means and what means the most to you at this point in your life. Not career, but in your life.
Well, I think a lot of it is like the kids change that. But it's funny because, you know, you think like your goals change some, but for me, I'm still, I just feel like blessed to have all this stuff. But I think more than anything, I'm just blessed that I still have the passion for it. I still, this morning when I got it, first thing was checking cameras and stuff on deer. But, you know, some people, like, I remember my sisters when I was young, they say, you're never going to do anything with your life. That's all, you're just, all you think about is hunting. But I just, you look back at it, and I told them then, and I still really feel strongly about it now. It's like, I feel sorry for you that you don't have a passion in your life like that, that I would never think about doing drugs, alcohol, I could never be depressed, anything like that. It's just like, I have something I look so forward to every day that I just feel super blessed that I have that still like have that same passion that I did 20 years ago. Things have changed. Like you said, your goals change. And that's why people are like, oh, you're just looking for, you know, a 200-inch deer or something like that. But I've only shot 6. I've been hunting for 50 years.
Right.
It's like, that's not something that just comes about. It's something that you're working towards all the time, trying to get better and trying to be a better hunter and try to do better things with your land and stuff like that. And that, like we said before, that's not everybody's passion. You know, like I said, but we never say, hey, this is how you should do it. I'm just happy that everybody's out hunting and enjoying it because, like, for us, like, I know we have never really hunted without a camera. I knew you saying that. And I'm different from myself. So I wouldn't want to, mostly because I like looking at, seeing the footage, seeing stuff that you shot. You know, you can come back and tell somebody of a buck fight you saw or something like that, but you can never explain it when you have the video of it. I love showing people that. But even more than that is I like the camaraderie of it. It's just like, our camera guys are our best friends, basically, because we live in the middle of nowhere. Your camera guys are your family, basically. And like for Tiffany and I to go out all the time just to spend that time together, you have somebody you can talk to and you share that hunting experience of that day with somebody else. And I really like that part about it. Some people may be like, hey, it's like being out there by myself and stuff, but that's like my tractor time is when I'm by myself, when I'm in a tractor doing that stuff. When I get into hunting, I like the camaraderie part of that. So I don't think like my passion really hasn't changed. I think your goals change, like you said, and your hunting stuff, and like people will maybe criticize you, like, oh, you're just looking for this kind of deer, this age deer, whatever. But it's like that was a progression. It's not like, it's just like if you're Wayne Gretzky playing hockey, it's like it's not that you probably wouldn't have that much fun going back playing with the Pee-wees. You know, you're just trying to always get better at something. So you don't really, you don't really want to go backward. And I don't think that that's everybody's, because I certainly didn't start there. I mean, I hunted the first 9 years of my life before I even saw a deer, you know, so I realized that too, but I'm still eating up with it and passionate about it because you're never going to figure them out, even though you think you're going to. And just like you're talking about turkeys, it's like you can be the best turkey caller in the world, but if they don't want to come, they aren't coming.
No.
They got to be in the right mood for it. But so it's a lot more about turkeys, I find, for me. How I'm more successful is I just know all my land. I know where they're going. I know what their routine is. I know what they do. So when we used to have our competitions, she'd always get mad because she would have a team and I'd have a team. It didn't really matter. She could have like Lovey and Pinder. They're like you. They're eating up with turkeys. But I would win every year because I knew all the land. I mean, I knew exactly what they did. I watched them every day. I got pictures. I know what they're doing. I said, well, now we're going to go over here because I know where they're going to. So that's part of the hunting being successful, is just understanding them and knowing what to do. You don't have to be the best caller. You don't have to do. It's more understanding it. And that's like me. I'm a very anal mind. I'm an engineer, and I just like to try to figure stuff out. But I feel very blessed that I still have the same passion for it, and just because you can always go further with it. I think if you thought you were at the end, you'd be like, if there's nothing else to learn or whatever, I think you could lose that passion. But that's why we start with elk and buying stuff in Montana and to go to mule deer and other animals too, and just starting over with different animals. But you know, so I feel blessed in that way, that I feel we're still doing that. But I said that fun thing for us to change with the kids, getting them out there, and all that stuff too. So
I check in on these guys every now and then. I've watched your social media stuff, and just because I remember when your son was born, and I think that's just, I mean, because you guys had your children a little bit later in life, and it's cool as hell to see you guys with your kids and happy, and
keeps you young.
The shit that you've been through, you know, bless you. I mean, God, it's just, we all lucky.
Oh,
Michael could have his own baseball team.
Oh, I do.
He's got
a
herd of them. But I've been very blessed. And then sometimes, for me, I have one. But when I married Junie, I inherited 2 more, and I love them like my own.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm completely in a different place. I can tell you. I do not care.
Right.
This is the best job I've ever had. It's the least amount of work I've ever had to do. The pay kind of sucks. but at least I'm not, to your point, roofing a house.
Right.
And I know what Tiffany's been through with things that she has fought.
Yeah.
And I seen that, you know, and my show, a big part of what I do was my dad. You know, my people ask all the time, where's your dad? It's a different part of life. My dad is still here, but he's battling Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
And he, most of the time, he's pretty good. But people ask me all the time, you know, who is the best hunter you know? That's him.
Oh, Pops, yeah.
No doubt. And it's just, me and Junie just had to put him into a facility. And he's been a part of my show and my life. I'm going to try not to break down.
But
But
hey,
you guys have been there. I know,
Yeah.
God bless her, because I know what she's been
Yeah.
through. But it's very hard. So you guys sit out there and you look at us, and we're these people. Yeah, we're these people, but we're regular people.
oh,
And
yes.
I was so happy when these guys started their family. It's like center a diaper bag.
He did
You
a
know,
designer diaper bag. It was probably
so-
one of the nicest things I had.
And I just what I'm trying to say is, back then, maybe things are a little bit different for me now. I said before we ever started this podcast, one of my boys is going to trip the hammer, and I'm going to have me a little fat granddaughter, and y'all not going to see me a whole lot no more, because I'm going to be crappie fishing. Uncle Johnny is going to
Oh,
give
yeah.
me the biggest pontoon boat they got at Bass Pro, and I'm going to have her sitting up on the front, strapped in with an umbrella, poles everywhere,
There you
and
go.
live minnows. That's
You ain't
that's-
throwing them back either. It's
No.
a fish fry.
But I have a wonderful family. Junie brought me from a place where I was at to where I am now, which I would never be where I am now without her.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how things happen in life, because where I was, I would not be able to deal with what I'm dealing with right now in my life without her, because she handles it all.
Yeah.
And I'm just in a different place. You mean we're all different people. We all do different things, but at the end of the day, we're all kind of the same people, and we all kind of look out for each other. So
Yeah.
there's things that happen to you in your career. Some of the greatest things I've ever killed in my life, but like I would have never been able to harvest those animals or have that opportunity without this.
Right.
And I'm just proud where I'm at. I felt like if my career ends now, I've had a successful career. I waded into a pretty thick game, and you did too. Some strong, I mean, you, Shockey, the list goes on and on. That's a big wall to climb.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, but things has changed in my life. And but for other than my dad, what we're dealing with him, but he is actually happy with what's going on. He still knows who I am. He don't want to shoot another animal, which was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I mean, when somebody I grew up sitting in his lap
Right.
with a 12 gauge, dove flying over. I ain't hit nothing, just banging
Yeah.
when I was 5 years old. And to see that guy in a completely different place, that's a whole lot to take in.
It is. And Pig, thank you so much
that's
for
where I'm
sharing
at.
that.
So,
Thank you for sharing where you're at, and definitely want to go over to Tiffany and hear where she's at, because what you're saying is kind of puts it all into perspective of sometimes what we could be chasing. I started this podcast and I said, what I've realized is nobody cares like you think they care. Everybody's got their own trajectory, their own. And I think as we get older, and we all are older, like we're all kids. And now you agree what Tiffany's went through in her own personal battles, battling cancer, losing
yeah.
Miss Linda, which is one of the most amazing women I've ever met. And that's, I had an amazing mother as well. She passed away of cancer when I was really young. And so when you start looking at perspective, all these old hard-hitting rednecks out here that's listening, and even some high-tech, military guys that's been overseas, at the end of the day, those type things is what truly are what we're blessed to have and what means the most. And when you got the people you love, our relationships, our ability to rib each other, to be sarcastic and have fun. And so, Pig, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being transparent.
I was just thinking, because we was rolling pretty good when things happened with Tiffany, and I remember me and Lee talking about that, and just devastating stuff. And then now they got their little family, and I see that I'm just happy as hell for them. But just we've got, all of us collectively have got millions of fans. And we love every damn one of you, other than the ones that post negative. But what I'm saying is,
Assholes.
The main thing, what people need to know is we are actually all exactly like you guys.
Oh, it's
We
no
ain't
different.
no different.
Bro,
We
there's
just
so
got
many.
lucky.
There's so many people. Make no mistake. There's so many people out here at the SHOT Show could out hunt any of us. It's just,
Promise
we're
you.
blessed, and I feel like we're passing on a culture. It's representing the culture. Sometimes it's trophy. Sometimes it's turkey. Sometimes it's pig hunting. Sometimes it's a beautiful lady like Melissa out there hunting with her family and her husband. There's so much it represents. But Tiffany, obviously, I know we about to wrap all this up. But Tiffany, where are you at? Because I know I see that you're whelped up with tears too, because it's emotional now. I mean, people come to us and like, damn, Waddell, you getting old? Like, dude, I've been to 29 SHOT shows. Yeah, I'm getting old.
Gosh.
I was here when I was a kid. So yeah, Tiffany, you got a lot.
I know we
that you've
barely could
experienced.
get in when we started coming. I mean, honestly, because
Yeah.
you have to be 18 here.
Yeah.
And it's like I think I was like 21.
You're not
when
old enough.
first-
We're getting carded.
We're
Not
getting
for a beer
carded
to
coming
get
to the
in.
SHOT Show. But I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of at the same spot that I was when we started. It's just like for Lee and I always just liked being out there. I mean, I still just, my favorite times now is that we hunted a bunch together this year just because he shot deer early. And those are still my favorite times when it's just him and I out there.
Yeah.
And now obviously we have kids and stuff. And I feel like when my mom died, that was really tough. Not even the cancer for me. I mean, that was like, I knew I was going to beat that. I knew I'd come ahead of that. But my mom, boy, that still to this day tears me up. I mean, and honestly, I kind of lost a little bit of my passion for hunting when she passed away, because she shared so much of that with us. And then I think too, just because I didn't grow up hunting. My mom never hunted. And then she started hunting because I hunted, obviously. So it became kind of a thing for us. And I feel like I kind of lost a little of the joy of hunting in all reality when she passed away. And for some reason this year, it just all came back to me, you know? And the funny thing is like, I only shot a few animals this year, but I would say that it was probably my favorite year of hunting that I've had for a while. And it was more because some of the mornings out there, I just was like, you know what? It doesn't matter if I shoot anything. I'm just going to appreciate that I have the ability to be out here. Obviously, I have my health. I'm healthy as can be. Our kids are thriving and everything. And so I think, like I said, I'm still kind of, I almost went full circle where I'm just happy to be out there. I mean, it's like,
That's so
if I
cool.
shoot something, it's awesome. If I don't, I mean, it's not the end of the world. And, you know, I don't know. I know that hunting for me helped me through a lot of bad times. And once again, you know, like I said, you know, I start to feel a little bit more close to my mom now.
Yes.
Again, where I had kind of lost that for a while. And I said, you know, then they asked us at the outdoor channel today, they're like, who's the first person you text? And I'm like, well, I always FaceTime Lee first, but then I text my mom. I mean, my mom's been dead 7 years now, and I still text her number. Now, I don't know where it goes. Nobody has ever wrote me back.
One of these
but
days,
I know.
and you're
And I still just write her.
Wow,
That's the second person I always would text
You
when
don't choke me
I
up for
shot
that, man.
something
That's
was
tough.
my mom. But now it's like I said, I lost a little bit of that. But when I was looking at our kids one day, I'm like, it's not about me. But like I said, I lost a little bit of the joy because my mom's not there. But I'm like, I have these two little kids that are looking up to me now, and I have to
Yes.
create that for them. So
Yep.
they appreciate that, and they have that same thing that I had with my mom, obviously, even though it started way later. But so, I mean, like I said, I'm just kind of I'm just happy to be out there. I'm just, you know, it's like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And we just, I don't know. Like I said, this last few weeks of hunting,
Wow.
we had so
Yeah.
much fun, even though I didn't actually shoot anything.
So
I mean,
beautifully said, Tiffany. I'm
Not
telling
really.
you,
It's not
man.
very eloquent. It's
No,
like
it
I was
is.
so much in my
It is.
mind that it's
I
just
promise
hard
you,
to
everybody
actually
that hears this can
say.
feel you.
And so
yeah.
you could, like,
and the people that
catch
follow
what I'm
them,
getting, you
the
know?
people that follow you guys know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking
Well, I
about.
think anybody hearing it on the podcast, hearing it here live, I mean, yeah, I mean, we've all been there. There's no separation. You know, none of us, I feel like all of us, you know, you hear the thing about who's privileged, who's not. We're all privileged to be on this earth. We're all
Yep.
privileged to be saved by the grace of God. We're all privileged to be all utterly screw ups, but somehow if you keep getting back up, you go forward. And so it's amazing to look at where we're at. But at the end of the day, nobody is so privileged that you don't, no matter if you have it all, you can be killing the biggest bucks. You can have money. You can have your power bill paid. You can have the new boat that you always wanted. It can be paid for, but you can't replace losing a loved one. You got heartbreak in your life. Everybody has to go through the hard times, and I'm convinced that the hard times are what give us the opportunity to recognize what good times
It's
look
totally
like.
true. And that was like the thing for me. It was like I almost took for granted that I had that we're so blessed to do this. And it's like, I just remember Lee always says that. He's just like, I just don't want to take for granted that we're just so lucky to be out here. And so, like I said, I'm just kind of back to where I'm just like, I'm just happy to be out here. I'm just happy to be out there.
Very
and
well said.
like I said, have your health and our family and just.
I'm convinced it's the Holy Spirit that just reminds us. It's almost like you can get spoiled. You can be over here at Delmonico's or Smith and Walensky, and you're like, this ribeye's a little fatty. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. I mean, I remember where Applebee's was like, I was saving up to go to Applebee's. I mean, some of these guys out here now we ordered a seafood stack, and these shrimp look like Arnold Schwarzenegger's shrimp. Like they cannot be organic. These suckers are big as this table. And I'm fussing about a little fat on a ribeye at a steakhouse
Put it back
like
in
that.
Perspective.
Standing at Joe Montana with Criminal Minds is right there. It's like
that's
unbelievable.
age, bro.
It's age, but
Junie told me I gripe all the time. She just told me that before we walked up here. I was griping about something, but sitting here talking to everybody that we all do this for a living. We all have kids that count on us to do this. It's our life.
Yeah.
So what we do, it's nice to know that I'm not the only person griping.
Well, it brings into perspective too. It's like you look at like Lee has killed so many like his smallest buck that he would still consider okay is probably bigger than what most people would give their whatever arm they don't pitch with. Because I've always thought like, if I had to give up one arm. Well, you're going to give up the one that makes you look gay if you throw a baseball. So I'm all right, I'll give the left arm. I'm going to keep my right. I look kind of cool throwing a football. I'm not Tom Brady. But at the end of the day, especially with y'all's kids, they're not going to look back. They're going to love Lee, not because he killed a 200 deer. They're going to like because he was the best dad.
Yep.
He rode me on the tractor. He took me doving. Like you're talking, sitting in your dad's lap. And I don't know. It's all in perspective. And I think age kind of gives us that reflection. But Melissa, what about you? Because you've had an amazing journey. Same, you got a family, amazing husband. I mean, y'all are just, looking in on it. This looks like living the dream, literally.
Well, I really feel lucky and blessed. And one of the things that's always been mine, and everyone has talked about it, is having goals and working your butt off to make it happen. Yeah. And that is, to me, there's nothing better in life, regardless of what it is. And I go talk to kids all the time, and I said, I don't care what you want to do. Everyone in the world can tell you you're not going to make it. I had professors telling me, you want to be a professional hunter? It's not going to happen. I was either going to do this or be an anesthesiologist, okay? That's two very different career paths. There are many times I looked at my bank account and thought, geez, I should have been an anesthesiologist. But you know what? I met my husband on a hunt. He's a game warden. Didn't get in any trouble. Met him there. And, we have had so much time together, and there's nothing I enjoy more than when I started my goal was to hunt every single day. I think for like 6 years, I hunted for like 320 days a year.
Wow.
That was enough. I probably didn't need to go any further. But now what I love is my husband and I put things together. We're trying to build more goals, always changing. You talk about goals changing. Every day we're coming up with new things we want, and I think it gives you so much drive and so much purpose to have things to every day be looking forward to, whether it's to buy more land, whether it's to change this, whether it's to buy an Airbnb in another state, or there's just all these things. And I just think that if everybody out there had more goal-driven things, and even if people tell you it's not possible, it's always possible. I'm not the most talented person out there by any stretch, but if you don't get outworked, who's going to beat you? You can't stop,
Amen.
And I think it's so important in whatever people want to do that it gives you that purpose. And as a family, it puts us together. Those bonds are things that you can never replace. All the hours my husband and I spend talking about hunting, about things that we want to do as a family, it's just been so special. And I just hope, you see the negative comments, and I almost want to be like, I wake up happy. I wake up, I smile, I love things. You wake up and you're very angry. And I just hope someday you can kind of find a passion like that and be able to be happy as well. So I always try to tell people, if you have a dream, go for it with everything you got.
God, I love that answer. It was so well said, man. I was sitting there, and the whole time she's talking about it, I'm hearing that John Cougar Mellencamp. Little houses for you and me. Yeah. So good. I swear. I'm so glad. Seriously, I'm not at all completely so emotionally and just in my gut sincere. I'm so thankful that our industry has ladies like you and Tiffany because, again, and I know people can agree out here, if you've ever watched Tiffany and Melissa, what's amazing is they're tougher than any guy I know, but they never out there are trying to tell any man or woman how to do it. And you can just see the passion of what they enjoy, which is probably why every man out there was in love with y'all because it's like, wait a minute, my wife tells me how to take out the trash. This girl's killing big bucks. She should not even give me a tip on how to shoot. But at the end of the day, I'm so thankful that perspective of what y'all both have. And it is. You got a purpose. You're achieving goals.
What's
seeing
yours?
These kids. Well,
you ask us, what is yours?
Honestly, mine's very simple now, very similar. I think we're all there and definitely want to ask our new soon-to-be citizen here from the UK.
Suspect.
He's in. He's in. Bro, we've already got, man, there's rednecks out here ready to shoot their hard-earned, bought 22 long rifle shells, which we'll shoot a 308 shell. A 22 we can win a war on 22 shells.
Governor Lakosky over here, Michael slip him into Iowa.
Governor Lakosky and Kiski going to get us all Iowa tax next year. But anyway.
Look under your chair, see who's got the lucky ticket.
And I'll keep mine quick to get it to Mike's, but mine is completely things like this. I don't take anything for granted. For me, it's about the campfire. I could care less about how big something is. To me, fun, everything you do, if you do in sincere fun, you want to come back to it. And sometimes challenges are the fun part, but I'm like Melissa too, the purpose, the challenge, trying to come up with a dream. It could be something as simple as Christian and I thinking about, man, we want the chicken coop to be a little better and bigger, and how can we make these game chickens do this or that, and how do we get more laying chickens to have more eggs? And it's
Just text me. I'll let you know.
I was going to say, are you a chicken nut too?
Yes.
Oh my God, my wife has got chandeliers in there with all their pictures and lets them listen to Daryl Singletary on the radio. I'm like, they're chickens. I mean, there's more chickens eaten across the country than
I didn't realize you had the same problem.
And it is a. There's
money to be made in the chicken
I built the
business.
nicest house I've ever owned in my life, and right now there is a chicken in my utility room because she calls it crop. I call it a crawl, whatever it is. It's got sour.
Oh, it's
and I'm like,
impacted.
Yeah.
Why is it in the house?
Yeah.
I come in from a trip and a damn rooster crows, and I swear to God, I think freaking The Exorcist is in my home. I'm jumping
I'm
up,
not the only
reached
one.
for my gun, did a karate chop, and did a freaking little old. Took the pig's knife he gave me to stab the air, and it was just a chicken in my utility room. But for me now, it's the campfire, it's the kids. I enjoy each and every person I meet, and it's funny. I don't ever want any man out there.
I want to apologize too.
Yeah.
Because to your point, early on in my career, I maybe didn't spend the time that I should have spent with a person that waited in line to talk to me for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if that person's out there, I apologize for that. But those
It's
things,
like such a dick.
it means, exactly.
Old pig coming here gonna whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah.
They're just gonna
But
what are you looking at?
Now I appreciate it. But mid-career, I remember the kids the kids that I see, and I know you guys for sure, the little girls that come up and talk to you. That's the things I remember.
Yeah.
And I remember these shows that we've done. By God, you said you've done 29. My
20,
God.
it's ridiculous. Or it might have been more like 27. I missed a year, COVID, and I missed one other year.
But I just remember the people that I remember that stand out to me that told me that story about the 90-inch 6-point or the 485-pound hog, and all that. That just cracks me up. But I just remember those kids. And it means a lot more to me. The older I get, smaller things mean more to me than it used to.
I swear, man, there's probably dudes out there like, why did Waddell just hug me? Like it's some, hard-hitting country boy. And I don't know, because I just know everybody in life is in a journey. Everybody's in a different place. And I think as you get older, you appreciate everything, the good and the bad. And so I don't know. I think now the campfires, the time, conversations like this, hooking up with old buddies and talking about where we at, talking about our families, talking about our hardships, but also what are those goals? Is it like, Lee, you know what? I killed a 193. I'm finally going to lock in. I'd just like to say, to make it a go, I want a 200-inch deer. And that's the beauty of America. Like Mike says, we've got that opportunity.
Yep.
Rather than fuss or complain about the opportunity that you never done it, never can, must be easy for them. No, it wasn't easy. So you can create these goals and aspirations, and obviously, so that's kind of where I'm at. But Mike, number one is welcome to America, man. I think you
Yes,
got a lot
sir.
of people. We're tickled to have you, buddy, and I've enjoyed my time with you. But where are you at, man? Because you have been talking about shaking and moving. Man, this guy's got more businesses than Donald Trump, man. I'm telling you, this dude is. He's a baller, man. So.
I'm a relentless entrepreneur, but my passion is still the woods, being in the woods with my dogs, hunting deer. If there's one thing in life I truly love, is that. But more than that, and what I'm so grateful to Outdoor Channel for, I'm telling you, this is a real big one for me, is it's an opportunity. I've spent 30 years teaching myself and learning how to take this natural product and serve it to people and show people how to use it. And I do come at things from a different angle, because my whole life is about converting the end result of what we do.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
for a moment. The meat, the fish, the whatever, the wildfowl, and then getting it in front of people and teaching people how to use this amazing resource. And as I get older, I get more and more into that. And coming here, I've done that a lot in Britain. I've done it an awful lot, spent a lot of time doing it. But coming here with this amazing platform, don't forget, nobody can watch, apart from MOTV, thank goodness that exists, nobody can watch Outdoor Channel in the UK.
Wow.
Right? We don't have outdoor programming. No, I never grew up being able to watch someone hunt something. It does not exist.
I don't even think they have it in North Korea.
Maybe not.
Kim Jong-un don't even let you.
But
Rocket
Are you
Man.
kidding me?
Rocket
Little
Man.
Rocket.
What is wrong with him?
but to be able to come here and to be able to start getting my hands on it and teaching people and educating a little bit. I never want to tell someone how to do it. Like, I noticed I put up a post about how to take a shank off a leg of a deer, like using a knife, not a sword, right? Just a little thing. And, 100,000 views on 12 seconds of cutting a piece of meat off. And then, but as you said, 90 comments that are like, thank you so much. I never knew you could do that. And then 3 people saying, you did that wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That ain't the way we
That's
do
the
it.
wrong joint. And I'm like, yeah, that's good.
What are you doing, Yankee boy? Over here trying to show people.
Well, I mean, you're a testament. You're a testament to if people. I've had, and I know you guys have said, man, you guys are so lucky doing what you do. You get to hunt for a living. It's what you do. Like, I mean, my man right here come from the UK.
Oh,
He
yeah.
ain't no spring chicken, if y'all didn't know that. And he come in here and he's sitting at the table. So, I mean, you can do it. And to
Yeah, you
Tiffany's
can.
point, you can do it.
Yeah.
If this is what your passion is,
Yeah.
you have to, you don't just wade into it and they say, oh, you're so damn good looking. I don't know how we didn't do this without you before. You're such a good shot with a bow.
Exactly.
It don't happen that
No,
way.
you're right.
It don't happen that way. But
Listen,
God bless you for doing what you've done.
we sold our house, our life, and everything. I still have business interests, but we sold everything and moved here. We arrived here in April with 2 dogs, and we stayed in an Airbnb. I'm in my mid-50s, and we then started looking for a place to buy and live in that area.
Good for you,
So
man.
I said to Claude, my wife, and this is one of the things. Again, I am the luckiest man in the world. This woman's amazing, and she's gorgeous. She's bright, and she's brave. She said,
Got
love it.
cataracts, does she?
I get a lot of people on Instagram saying you punch thoroughly above your weight.
How about you outkicked your coverage?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they say.
I got a
here.
shirt. That
Do
says
you?
that. Yeah, I
But
get it all
I think
the time.
we're all blessed like that. But no, she said, I love it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Come
Good
on.
for you,
And
man.
Otherwise, 5 more years, 10 more years, it's kind of too late to do it. Do it now. Take the plunge. Make it happen.
I would say you took the plunge.
And be brave,
You went
you
deep.
know?
So, questions burning my brain. I got to ask you. You did all that.
Yeah.
What if you don't get your credentials?
Oh, I'll go back.
Yeah, I mean,
I still am a citizen of somewhere.
yeah, 10-4.
You'll get them. I
Well,
mean, you'll definitely.
I'm finished, and I want to say thank you for hosting.
Oh, man.
This has been great. Good to see Lee and Tiffany. Congratulations on the kids. I follow you. I watch your stuff. great. I don't know you, but I'm going to get to know you better. Congratulations on what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank the network because, honest to God, all of us. I mean, we owe the network.
We do.
For all of us sitting here. So
No
they
doubt.
take care of us.
And like I said, we could talk forever. I'm just so excited we had this. I thank y'all for y'all's time. I know y'all
Thank you,
wide
Mike.
open. We spent 2.5, 3 hours sitting here, and I wanted to kind of get the meat off the bone, so to speak. And we got so much we can say, and we'll leave and we'll think of 1,000 other things we wish we would have talked about, and we can catch up that. Maybe we can catch up over a glass of sweet tea or a cold beer and chat and talk. In the meantime, man, looking forward to we got a little happy hour going down. If you're hearing this, out in the live audience, we got a little happy hour about ready to go down. I think it starts about now. So thank you guys so much.
you,
Thank you,
Mike.
Outdoor
Thanks,
Channel.
Drake.
Hey, man, sincerely love all you guys and continued success and congratulations on where you are and the goals you worked for and dreamed about, and to see it coming to fruition, man, I'm very proud. And y'all should be proud of yourself. More than me being proud of y'all, everybody should be proud of themselves. But I know y'all are not entitled, and I only can imagine what's to come. So thank y'all for being here.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.